Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah Barakatah.
H.O.I.
To all my brothers and the sisters that keep the law and the faith.
Till the chariots fly.
On the highways, byways, pushing commandments to all of my people. In a place where they never were equal. And the people who run it are evil. Shooting us down in the street, poison the food that we eat, poison the water we drink, making it hard to think the devil is playing for keeps. They get the money and go, leaving us stuck on the bottom. Soon as they spot him, they got him. I tell you the devil is rotten. I know that them niggas is scheming and plotting. It won't be forgotten. Yahweh is watching. Soon as he give us the power, my nigga, you know that we getting it poppin'. Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah made my
day. Everybody couldn't come together for the actual opening, which was Wednesday. So I set up something for tonight, Saturday night, so we can come together through the spirit of the Most High, Mashiach Yahweh Shai, and keep the feast. Okay? All right, so we're going to go over a short series of scriptures. I had a little problem with the owner earlier, so we're going to try to keep it discreet, try to keep it quiet, like we normally do, keep it orderly. You know, these Edomites, you know, we out in Winter Park, so I told him I was having an event, but he started tripping on me, you know, when he saw the tent and everything. So everybody try to keep it discreet, and I'm gonna maybe move everything into the house. We can be out here, but maybe the house with the door shutters a little bit better once we start playing music or whatever. Just, you know, keep it discreet. You know, Israel can be loud as hell. Well, I just need y'all to work with me. I don't need no goddamn skinheads ringing a damn doorbell, you know, 12 o'clock at night, talking about you niggers making too much noise. So that's what we're gonna get into. Salakia for the late start. I was early this time. I was actually ready around 7. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it is what it is. You know. So all praise to Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. We're going to go through the Feast of Tabernacles. I want to try to hit some of the scriptures I didn't hit Wednesday night to give you some more scriptures for your arsenal, for your notes. Everybody take notes, go along with the service. Don't sit here like you're bored waiting for the food to be served. Everybody participate. Good? Good, you know. The children too. All right, don't get ass in your pants, because when you come to serve the Most High, you're learning. Okay? You can't, you know, I always get on Israel all the time. You can't be 3, 4, 5, 6 years in the truth, and you can't explain your feast days. You can't explain what different things mean according to the scriptures. You know, so when you're here, you're learning. Okay? When you're watching YouTube, you're learning. When you come to the feast days, you're learning. You know, every year you're supposed to get better. You're supposed to say, okay, next year I know how to break down the Feast of Tabernacles. Then somebody asks me, you know, so next year when the feast comes, somebody say, hey, what you guys celebrating this year? You're supposed to be able to explain it from the year before, because you were paying attention, you were taking heed, you know, to what was being brought out. Fine? Alright, so I'm going to do one more check, see if anybody's out there. We're going to pray and get started. Try not to be too long and drawn out, so we still have a decent time to enjoy ourselves and not be too late and these damn Edomites don't start tripping on us. But we're going to make it do what it do for the Most High Yahweh Shai. Okay? Tomorrow we starting around 2. Hopefully, if they don't trip on me about that. Some of the brothers and sisters couldn't make it tonight. They're going to try to come tomorrow. So, you know, that's a trade-off with Israel. Wednesday is the closing at my house in Compton. My house is not that big, but y'all welcome. Get in where you fit in, you know. But we're gonna try to look forward more to having these events, you know, at our own place. We got to get together and try to have our own place, because when we doing it with somebody else, they get to tripping on us. Okay? All right. So let me make one more sweep, and then we can get ready to get started. Stand and face Jerusalem on the east this way for opening prayer. Women heads covered, men make sure your hands are uncovered. Lord's Prayer. Repeat after me.
Abanawa, Shashamayam, Kadash, Aya, Shabaka, Hawa, Awakawaka, Abaa, Watazaka, Aya, Asha, Arataza, Agwa, Aya, Ashamayam, Awatanaya, Ram, Ko, Yurum, Asakabakum, Kakuwafanum, Asakalakum, Awakavuna, Allah, Abayaya, Asayawan, Abo, Ashanaya, An, Ra, Kaya, Alka, Awakwaf, Alawa, Atawa, Ayanam, Amen. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Our Father Yahweh, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, and we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Shema Yashala Yahweh Yahayam Yahweh Shema Yashala Yahweh Yahayam Yahweh Shema Yashawala Yahweh Ayahayam Yahweh Shama Yashala Yahweh Ayahayam Yahweh
Hear, O Israel, Yahweh, our power, Yahweh is one, Deuteronomy 6, verse 4. Creed on Israel. Hallelujah.
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 Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Blessing of the Feast of Tabernacles. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem. Mashiach.
Yahushua.
Yahushua. Babakashah. Barak. Nawa. Kag. Sarawaf. Barak. Nawa. Shabbat. Barak. Now. Rum. Yurum. Babakashah. Ba'ashem. Mashiach. Yahushua. The water. Alam. Amen. Hallelujah. 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 Wakata Hawa. Wakata Hawasha. Yo, brother, Haya. La Hawasha. Hallelujah. Yahweh. Hallelujah. Babashah. Barak. Nawa. Babakashah. 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 Barak. Nawa. Ka. Sawak. Ba'ashem. Mashiach. Yahushua. The water. Yeah. Alam. Amen. Hallelujah. 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 Come on, sir.
Hold on. Be shopping, be seated. Alright, so everybody repeat after me. Ashar, Kag, Sakawaf. Happy Feast of Tabernacles 2020. So giving all praise, honor, and glory to the God of Israel, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
So we're just going to go through a short series of scriptures to edify y'all on the Feast of Tabernacles 2020. And any questions or comments y'all want to know about y'all feast day, about what we here to celebrate, what the Most High commanded us to do here, feel free, ask questions, don't be shy, and take notes, okay? Be meticulous with your notes also, all right? So understand the Most High is blessing us to come together in these last days, give us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, laws, statutes, and commandments, to serve Him and to follow His laws, and we coming back as a nation. All right? Matter of fact, we're here. That's why they mad. You know what I'm saying? Right. Start bringing us back home. God. So real quick, go to Ecclesiasticus 36 and 11. All right. Ecclesiasticus 36 and 11.
Try tapping phone to echo.
Good.
Salakia. When everybody have it, say turn. All right, Ecclesiasticus 36 and 11. Read that.
Gather all the tribes of Jacob together, and inherit thou them as from the beginning.
See that? So the Most High said, gather all the tribes of Jacob together and inherit them as from the beginning. So we the Lord's chosen people from the beginning. Right? All right, so the Most High want us quiet. We need everybody quiet. Men and women and children. Quiet and pay attention to the service. Have respect for the word coming out. Children included. We know y'all don't have the attention span as adults, but pay respect to the Most High's word as it's coming out. All right, so read that one more time. Sirach 36:11.
Gather all the tribes of Jacob together.
So that's what the Most High is commanding us to do. Gather all the tribes of Jacob together. And he's doing it by allowing us to teach our people. Okay? All right, read on.
And inherit thou them.
And inherit us back as a people, as a nation. Inherit us back to the Most High. Go ahead.
As from the beginning.
Like he had inherited us from the beginning. So what did the Most High command us to do? Come together as a nation like we were his chosen people from the beginning. Right now, our people they act like they don't want to be the chosen. They want to be stuck with America, Babylon. All right, they trying to get part of Esau's system. All right, let's vote Kamala and Biden, and he's going to do better for us. No, he's not. Biden and Trump is two demons on the same damn beast. Two horns on the same beast. Now the man got the coronavirus.
Right.
Give me a break, man. You want some sympathy votes. You know what I'm saying? Get the hell out of here, man. Nobody's falling for that. And if you do, so what? You know what I'm saying? But that 9 times out of 10, a lot of these presidents and government leaders of America, they got something they traditionally do. It's called an October surprise. All right, y'all can look that up. October surprise. Ronald Reagan did it. I think Senior Bush, a couple of presidents did it. It's a tradition that they have where they do something in the month of October to galvanize people, to shock people, especially during an election year. It's called an October surprise. So now, the first day of October, second day of October, we begin the Feast of Tabernacles, and Trump has the coronavirus. What we goddamn do? Right? And when you look at that, it's nothing but the Most High mocking them. You know what I'm saying? The Most High mocking them. Because remember, Trump, he was taking the coronavirus lightly. I got a lot of theories with that. He was taking it very lightly and saying things gonna go back to normal. So did they give him the virus to put him back in line?
Right.
Was he rebelling against the Illuminati? You never know. Because he was like, look, the virus is there. You don't have to wear a mask. I wear a mask only when I have to. He was playing it down. Now all of a sudden he got it.
Right.
So now they can mock him and say, see, you was playing the virus down, but now you got it. See, that's so you never know. Is the cause panic amongst the people? Because the people are simple as hell. They don't do no research. So the people say, oh, Trump got the virus. See, we got to keep our mask on. And get away from me if you coughing. The president got it. Because the people are naive and dumb as hell and don't do no research on their own. So you never know. There's many reasons why all of a sudden they announced Trump has the coronavirus.
Right.
Or maybe he just caught it. Maybe the Most High just plagued him. No, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But either way, it's judgment to the Most High. Give me Matthew 24:7. So all of a sudden he got the coronavirus. Okay. But if I had to put money on it, he's trying to get sympathy votes.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. He's trying to get sympathy votes, and you know, this will have a lot of attention on him. Now he's at Walter Reed Medical Center, and, you know, he's got to take a separate jet, and him and Flotus, Flotus, I think, that's his wife's not TikTok. What's the other one?
Instagram.
Not Instagram.
Facebook.
Snapchat. No, not Snapchat. The other one. Twitter. Yeah, that's what I think. That's her Twitter name. Flotus. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. For Flotus and I, you know, we go to Walter Reed Hospital. But either way, There was an actual Edomite that put up a tweet back in September that Trump was going to pull this stunt. I think his name is John Camel or something like that. Look that up. The people were sharing it with me on Instagram. He posted it in September, I believe it was. I believe it was September. And he said Trump is going to pull an October surprise. He's going to announce that he has the coronavirus to get sympathy votes from the people. And that his name will be in the media so much. And people will kind of forget about Biden. And, you know, it's a publicity stunt, man. But look that up. A couple of presidents have done that. It's called an October surprise, where they just do something wild to galvanize the people, you know, and get people's attention, mainly during election year. Okay? All right, so read on. Matthew 24:7. Start at 5, matter of fact. Matthew 24:5.
Book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 5. And many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ.
Right, many going to come in Hamashiach's name saying they're the Messiah. Right, come on.
And shall deceive many.
Right, remember Trump said, I am God. Right? Remember he said God ordained him. He said the Most High ordained him. Ordained you to be Satan.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's, you the anointed cherub, like the scriptures say. Right, everybody got their part. That's what he anointed you for. Right? But remember, the man said, I am the chosen one.
Right.
Chosen for what? To get coronavirus? Or the liar say you got coronavirus? Right, go ahead.
And ye shall hear of wars.
The Lord said you're going to hear of wars. Go ahead.
And rumors of wars.
And rumors of wars. What's one of the main impending wars? The race war. All this racial tension, man. Remember, now they got that white supremacist made that video. He said if Trump win, then we know Black Lives Matter and Antifa is going to start the race war. They said if Biden win, we're going to start the race war. So they say either side. Black Lives Matter ain't starting a damn thing.
Nah.
All right, that's a compromised organization. When that thing first came out, I knew it was a joke. And I saw the Most High blessed me to witness one of the first Black Lives Matter rallies in New York. When the brother in what's the brother in St. Louis? Ferguson. Mike Brown. When Mike Brown got killed, I witnessed one of the first Black Lives, and I knew it was a sham then because they put this white woman up, and everybody was cheering her on. And I was like, how is this a rally about our people being upset about the police killing us? And this Edomite, they put this Edomite woman comes out of nowhere, and everybody, yeah, that's right, this is a human thing. We're all dying. No, you're not dying like us. Then the black man came up right behind her and said, it's not about color. I said, oh, this thing is compromised. Whatever this movement is compromised from day one. And it looks staged.
Yeah.
They had one of the first rallies in 14th Street, Union Square. If any of y'all familiar with New York City, there's a place called 14th Street, Union Square. It's like a utopian type place. You know, homosexuals hang out there, and weirdos, and those people that's just into free spirit and all that. It's one of them type of places. So it's all that melting pot. We all one spirit. And I knew it, and I said, this damn thing is compromised, man. You know, Black Lives Matter. A damn white woman is up here in the middle of the speech giving her opinion. When are we ever going to have something for our people? Yo, we tired of the police killing us. Let's get together and do something for ourselves. Why is this damn white woman in the middle of us? See, that's how this society is, man. So I knew Black Lives Matter. They ain't starting no damn race war if Trump wins. If they do, it'll be agent provocateurs. It will not be an actual Negro from Black Lives Matter. They'll use black agents to start a race war. But these Negroes ain't raising up like that until they have no choice but to fight. So that's all a sham, but that's one of the main impending wars. And that Edomite said it. He said, if Biden wins, we're going to set it off. And he said, we're well prepared. We're trained and we're well prepared. And I know that from the 90s. Watching documentaries about Esau training and what they call militia groups and all that, you know what I'm saying? Minutemen. Esau they've been ready. You know what I'm saying? It's Jake walking around with his pants hanging off his behind, still shooting each other. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's the main war that's impending. Wars and rumors of wars. Right, go ahead.
And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
Go ahead.
See that ye be not troubled.
But don't be troubled, the Most High said. Go ahead.
For all these things must come to pass.
The Lord said these things are supposed to happen. Don't be troubled because these things must come to pass. Go ahead.
But the end is not yet.
And I don't mean the end is here yet, though. Go ahead.
For nation shall rise against nation.
That's what's going to happen. Nation going to rise against nation. Mainly Esau, the so-called white man, against Jacob and our people, the 12 tribes of Israel. Right? Go ahead.
And kingdom against kingdom.
And what?
And kingdom against kingdom.
And kingdom is going to rise against kingdom. All right, so you're going to see that. Nation going to rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. All right, go ahead.
And there shall be famines and pestilence.
There's going to be famines, pestilences. Go ahead.
And earthquakes in divers places.
And earthquakes in divers places. All right. Pestilences, so-called coronavirus. It is an actual real virus. All right. They making more of it than what it really is, but it is an actual virus. Mm-hmm. All right. So understand that the Most High is bringing this thing. All right. He's bringing this judgment down. Whatever, man. Whatever Trump and them is pulling. I don't know what the hell they pulling. I got so many theories on that thing. You can break that thing down so many ways. But whatever the hell is going on, you know, is the Most High that's doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, the scriptures tell you the deceived and the deceiver are his. So Satan and the person that the Most High used, that allows Satan to use to deceive, it all belongs to the Most High. I'll tell you that in Job 12:16. We don't have to get it, but you're not going to write that down. Put that in your notes. Job 12:16. All right, because when you check it out, even if somebody's deceived, that's the Most High. Like we know the truth. Who's that? The Most High. Allowing us to know the truth. God? They're deceived. Who's that? The Most High allowing them to be deceived, allowing Satan to deceive them. God? All right, so I just want to open up with that. But Trump, whatever the hell you doing, the men of the Lord not following. Right? The people of the Lord, the people, the men, women, and children are the Most High not falling for it. Whatever the hell folly they got going on. We just going to keep doing the work, serving the Most High, and keeping these commandments. Right? All right, so go from there to Leviticus 23 and 33. Let's get into the Feast of Tabernacles a little bit. Like I said, I'll try not to get some of the same scriptures that we had on the opening. If y'all watched the opening class, go back and watch it, get the lesson. All right, because if y'all come to Feast of Tabernacles next year, I'm going to ask y'all a question. I'm going to be like, look, you should know from last year. And even if you're not taking notes, go back and what you should be. All right, and y'all got to get in the habit of bringing y'all Bibles. Okay? Y'all Bibles and y'all apocryphas. The phone is okay, but get in the habit of using a physical Bible. Okay? It's more spiritual. It trains you better. Because listen, the phones and technology could be gone, but that book could be right there on your mantle. Hopefully. Don't get all into this new age technology and now your Bible's collecting dust on the mantle in the house. And when you read the physical Bible, it teaches you how to find the books. Okay? Because when you got the phone, you get spoiled because you're just typing it in. So get in the habit, all right? It's okay to use the phone as a convenience sometimes, but get in the habit of having a physical Bible and apocrypha. Okay? And when we having services, make sure you bring a Bible, apocrypha, and a notepad. Okay? We're going to train y'all the same way that we learn because we want y'all to be teachers. Okay? Especially you brothers. And you women. You sisters, man. We had sisters that was good with the scriptures and they was used to bring brothers in, man. They show brothers a couple of scriptures and now you don't keep teaching a man. You eventually direct them to the men. Or you bring them to the class. You talking about the classes, but we had sisters that was sharp enough that they can explain it to a brother, and brothers woke up like that, and the Most High used sisters to bring brothers in. Alright? Alright, so you don't come in this knowledge just to, okay, 4 years you can't explain the Sabbath. Yo, I break the Sabbath down. Let me text Priest Sabak. You know what I'm saying? Come on, y'all. You know, I mean, we'll answer y'all after 40 years, but we want y'all, and that's encouragement. It's not to down anybody. It's not to insult anybody. You know, don't say, oh, see, Issachar, he remember the scriptures. I ain't like him. No, don't have a defeatist mentality. You learn for yourself. All right, well, I ain't gonna never know the scriptures like you are. No, learn them. This is your culture. This is your book. You don't want what's yours. You don't want to know who you are. Okay? Listen, man, y'all can say what y'all want. Some of them Christians be knowing their Bible. And brothers be confounded. Hitting me up 2 o'clock in the morning because you arguing with your Christian cousin on the phone. Elder Sabak, can you give me the breakdown of John 3:16 real quick? Brother, how long you been in the truth? 3 years. You're supposed to be able to break that down. Huh? But you're getting confounded by your cousin. And your cousin's a Christian without proper understanding, but they confounded you. Because they know the scriptures. Notice the word I use know. They may not understand, but they know. And sometimes they do have certain understanding. They'll trip you up on them Gentile scriptures if you're not sharp. So you gotta come into this thing, man, and learn. Don't just sit here for years and years and you're not retaining anything. Okay? All right, so read that, brother. Leviticus, we're gonna get into the Feast of Tabernacles. All right, try to keep it short and sweet to the point, and explain what this feast day is about. All right, Leviticus 23 and 33.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 33. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, The 15th day of the 7th month shall be a feast of tabernacles, for 7 days unto the Lord.
It said it shall be the Feast of Tabernacles. What's another name for tabernacles? By a show of hands, don't yell out. What's your name again, sis? Sorry.
Catalina.
Catalina.
The Feast of Ingathering.
Feast of Ingathering and something else. You got a little ahead. What's another name for the tabernacle?
Feast of Tents.
Not quite. Close, but it's another word I'm looking for. Don't yell out. Zakari?
Feast of Booths?
Feast of Booths, huh? All right, you sure? All right, Feast of Booths, okay? All right, so those are all good answers. Good answers, Sister Catalina. You know, I showed you've been paying attention. God, tents is in there. All right, but Booths, that's what I was looking for. Feast of Booths is also known as. So you got to know this stuff. Know your own feast days, okay? At least even on a basic level, you may not be, you know, some teachers and brothers going to reach different levels for whatever reason. All right, but at least know the basics, all right? At least get the milk. Then you can maybe move on a little bit to the meat. Okay? All right, go ahead.
15th day of the 7th month shall be a feast of tabernacles.
Right, the 15th day of the 7th month, so that was this Wednesday at even, according to our Hebrew calendar. Right, go ahead.
For 7 days unto the Lord.
Right.
On the first day shall be a holy convocation.
Go ahead.
Ye shall do no servile work therein.
Right, the Lord said, on the first day shall be a holy convocation. That's what we did Wednesday. It was a small gathering, you know. Myself, my family, our brother Jamin, our sister Danielle, you know. But a lot of times also Israel adjust your schedule. All right, that's why we try to feed the calendars out to y'all. Adjust your schedule so you can try to make these days. Like this year, Hanukkah's on a Tuesday. And we're not going to move to Hanukkah. If you make it, you make it. You don't, you don't. All right, tonight we kind of said, okay, because a lot of people couldn't make it this Wednesday, we're going to do an extra celebration on Saturday. But normally, we don't move the feast days for nobody. If it come on a Monday night, you got to try to make it. Okay? You did it for Christmas. If Christmas fell on a Monday, you didn't say, you know, even though your job let you off, but you didn't make no excuse. Some of you worked on Christmas and still went to the Christmas celebration. Okay? All right, so no excuse, especially if you was a city worker, you work in a hospital, you work in law enforcement, you work in any certain type of jobs, you had to still go to work. You said, save my plate, Ma, I get off at 4. You know what I'm saying? And you was right home, came out your uniform, doing your Christmas best. So put the same zeal into the Most High's days. We're not in a habit of making it convenient. You're going to have to keep it on that day. All right, but, you know, this time we said, okay, we'll throw something on a weekend. And, you know, everybody can also try to make it. We know a lot of y'all are traveling from a distance, too. So that plays a part. And so the Most High understands. But as we go on and we tell you the dates further in advance, if it's a weekday, you're going to have to try to make it. You're going to sacrifice. Okay? Talk to your job. You let them know, you got the calendar. I need these days off. Okay? Make that effort for the Most High. You're not pleasing me. I don't give a damn. If I'm sitting somewhere by myself keeping a feast, I'm going to do it. You know what I'm saying? So if the elder, so I'm going to go because the elder said I should come. No. You should come because you love being an Israelite and serving your Father.
That's right.
Okay? Hallelujah. All right, read on.
7 days ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
Right, so we had different offerings that we offered unto the Lord throughout the 7 days. Go ahead.
On the 8th day shall be a holy convocation.
So this Wednesday, October 7th at even, we'll have another gathering. That'll be the 8th day. The main days for the Feast of Tabernacles was the 8th day, the first day and the 8th day. So this Wednesday, we'll have another small gathering at my place until, we start to get on our feet better out here in H.O.I, Los Angeles. Me and the brothers going to talk more about that, about really, putting things together so we can have a place of our own. Because, with this COVID, and then you renting from people, and people getting upset because they don't want to fix the lights, and there's all kinds of stupidity. But you don't have to go through that when you have your own. Right? And it'll be better because we won't have to worry about people not making it during the week. Sometimes we got to try to find a place, then we can send out the invites. But if we got the place already, we send out the invites months in advance. Yo, Hanukkah, September, October, Hanukkah gonna be in December, such and such. Ours on a weekday, let me make preparations now. To make sure I make it to the feast. Right? Because we, H.O.I, I know some camps do that and I'm not knocking them, but this is rare for us. We're really not in the habit of moving a feast day. We keep it on the day that it falls on. Okay? And you just gotta adjust. You be there. Sometimes there's only 3 people at the feast. Oh, it's a weekday, I couldn't get off. Slack it up. No, don't worry about it. You did your best. We don't judge nobody. And when we come out, we just encouraging you. We're not getting on nobody. We're not coming down on you. Right? We're not judging you. You can't judge me. But we trying to encourage. We are encouraging you. Okay? Because that's what we're supposed to do. We can be selfish and be like, hey, you make it, you don't, you don't. I'm a keep it. But we try to encourage each other. Okay? All right, read on.
On the 8th day shall be a holy convocation.
So this Wednesday at even, October 7th. So if some of y'all can't make it, most of y'all may not be able to make it, keep the feast at home. We will be going live. We'll have a service, cook, eat, drink, and enjoy the festival. The feast day. Okay? But for the Feast of Tabernacles, it was the 1st and the 8th day that you were supposed to keep. Okay? All right, read on.
Unto you, and ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
Right, so when you read Numbers, the 29th chapter, we had burnt offerings that we burnt to the Most High throughout each of the days for the Feast of Tabernacles. Go ahead.
It is a solemn assembly.
It's a solemn assembly. What does a solemn assembly mean? By a show of hands. A solemn assembly.
Holy.
Holy. Something else. Think about the word solemn. Catalina?
Sacred.
Sacred. All right, that's 2 good words. Another word I'm looking for. Yeshaya?
Kind of took the word. I was going to say sacred, but festivity.
Festivity. Something else I'm looking for. Jamming. Separate. Also separate or set apart.
Holy is another word for separate.
Holy. Y'all all right. It's another word I'm looking for. It's 2 words actually. The word solemn, 2 synonyms for the word solemn is grave or sincere. All right, grave or sincere. It's a grave or sincere assembly, meaning the Most High take this very seriously. Okay? He wants us to honor him back when he delivered us. Remember, the Feast of Tabernacles is also a celebration of us being brought out of Egypt.
Yeah.
Okay? And what happened? We dwelt in the wilderness. That's why we got these tents. We got our tent. We got our tents in the cut back here. I didn't know this tent was going to be this big, but I wanted space. But that's why Esau kind of tricked on me too. You got a big tent back there. Yeah, how many people are coming? You know what I'm saying? But that's why we dwell in the tent. Some people camp. Some people camp for the whole 7 days, all praises. Some people camp for the weekend because of job scheduling. Some people take their vacation time and they camp in a house. I seen one brother said, yo, I don't have a backyard. He set up a tent in his living room. So he put it on Facebook. And he screenshot and sent it to me. I said, all right, brother, that's that zeal. Because we was going to put the small tents in here because we didn't think they was going to fit in the back of this. So I said, put one back here. We put one in the living room. All right, just for that, to keep that righteousness. You know what I'm saying? Give me Judges 5:11. Hold Leviticus 23. Give me Judges 5 and 11. Just to rehearse these righteous acts. Gone? We're not doing it perfectly, but what? We're making a sincere, that grave and sincere effort, that solemn assembly that we're having. We're asking the Most High to have mercy on us because what? We're not perfect. We're doing this to the best of our ability. But we're coming back to this now. Okay? All right, we turn it around, you know, these wicked feast days. All right? We got the burnt orange on, but it don't represent Halloween. It represents the Feast of Tabernacles. God? Right, we turn it, we flipping it. We taking that color back. God, that pumpkin color, goddammit. We taking it back. All right? All praises, you know what I'm saying? That's, hey, flip it. Well, some brothers do every year. They take it and they roast a turkey for Hanukkah. They say, hey, so everybody want to roast a turkey for Thanksgiving. Brothers take and roast a turkey for Hanukkah. Just flip it around. Turkey's a clean bird. Just, you know, they don't really eat none on Thanksgiving because of that day and what it represents. But you turn it around in righteousness. Okay? So read that.
The book of Judges, chapter 5, verse 11.
Go ahead.
That they are delivered from the noise of archers.
It said, they that are delivered from the noise of archers. Go ahead.
In the place of drawing water.
The noise of archers represents what? Nuclear destruction. The archers, sometimes the scriptures refer to the nuclear silos as like an archer shooting an arrow. All right, come on.
There shall they rehearse the righteous acts.
That's what we're doing. We're rehearsing the righteous acts. So the Most High wants to see that effort. Okay? As long as that effort is being made, the Most High is acknowledging it. All right, come on.
Rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord.
So we're rehearsing the righteous acts, so you do the best of your ability. A lot of brothers and sisters, you know, they celebrate that at home. For whatever reason, you know, they couldn't make it out to fellowship. That's good too. We know we encourage Israel to get together, but it's a balance. For whatever reason, you may not have been able to make it. The Most High understands. Right, go ahead.
The righteous acts of the Lord, even the righteous acts towards the inhabitants of the villages in Israel.
Like we kept the commandments when we lived in the land. That's why we was destroyed and scattered out of the land. Because what? We stopped keeping the commandments. We didn't keep the commandments no more, so the Most High punished us. All right, so go back to Leviticus 23. So it's a solemn assembly. It's grave, it's sincere, and the Most High wants you to make every effort to keep it. Kind? All right, go ahead. Leviticus 23. Use that 23.
I don't know. Okay. Lord, it is a solemn assembly, and ye shall do no servile work therein.
The Lord said it's a solemn assembly, do no servile work. Anybody know what servile work means? By show of hands. Angela?
Labor,
Labor, bring it home.
labor, like a 9 to 5.
9 to 5, but just go ahead and say it. Kari, help out.
Work for hire.
Work for hire.
Say that. Work for hire.
Like a job, all right? You was right. A 9 to 5 is damn sure work for hire. All right? Oh, those goddamn 9 to 5s. Forget about it. You know what I'm saying? You come and you get the spirit, man. It's hard to dwell on them jobs, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it meaning work for hire. Meaning on these feast days, they're also Sabbaths. So the only work you can do is work towards the feast. Okay, and that's what it means. You can't really do no work for hire on these days. Okay? So naturally, you try to get your job off. Number one, because it's the feast, you want to enjoy it. And number two, the Most High said it's a Sabbath. You should do no work for hire. Then a lot of times you're doing so much work for the feast, you ain't got no time to be on no job. You're putting in work for the feast. Okay, you cooking, cleaning, this and that, getting garments together. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? Trying to do stuff at the last minute. You know what I'm saying? You know, Israel like to look fly, you know, sewing on fringes. 30 minutes before service start. You know what I'm saying? Damn, gluing on fringes if you have to. Damn, I sew them on tomorrow. Just glue them when I gotta have my fringes on the feast. Good? Don't think the elder don't know what y'all be doing, goddammit. Been there, done that. Good? Like, damn, that garment is nice. You don't know, I just finished it 30 minutes ago. You know what I'm saying? Right before y'all came in, I just finished it. Good? We fly in the world, we like to be flying the truth.
That's right.
All right, read on.
these are the feasts of the Lord.
So the Most High said, these are the feasts. The reason why I said these are the feasts, because Leviticus 23 gives you all the high holy days and feast days of the Most High. Come on.
Which ye shall proclaim to be a holy convocation.
And these are holy convocations. These are true and righteous gatherings. Okay? So we're not here just to hang out. We're not here just for the food. Okay? The food is a part of it. Damn it, we all gonna get our eat on. Right? But you don't come to the service just to eat. Okay? You come for the spiritual food, and then you get the physical food. Okay? We ate, we eat lovely. Plenty of food in there, but that's not what it's about. It's the holy righteous part first. You come and eat that spiritual meal. Okay? All right, go ahead.
To offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
Go ahead.
A burnt offering of meat, a meat offering, a sacrifice, a drink offering, everything upon his day.
Right, so we don't do the sacrifices like the Levites in the ancient time, because what? H.O.I was the ultimate sacrifice, and we are the living sacrifices now. So our sweet savor is what's coming together, cooking the food, cooking the clean meats, all right, because they smell good when you cook them, burning the incense, the frank and myrrh to the Most High, and just coming together, rehearsing, what he told us to do. Because the Levites and everything, that's not going to be set back up to the kingdom. All right, go ahead.
Besides the Sabbath of the Lord, besides your gifts, and besides all your vows, and besides all your free will offerings, which ye give unto the Lord.
Go ahead.
Also, in the 15th day of the 7th month, when ye have gathered in the fruit of the land.
Right, so that's what Sister Catalina was bringing out. The Feast of Tabernacles is also known as the Feast of Ingathering. Why is it known as the Feast of Ingathering? Don't yell out by show of hands. Sister?
It's the end of the harvesting season?
Right, it's the end of the harvest season. All right. The Feast of Tabernacles is also a harvest festival. All right, that's why we have kind of like the decorations, the pumpkin and stuff like that. We ain't letting Halloween steal that. You know what I'm saying? That's part of the harvest. Okay? All right, that's part of the Most High's nature that he gave us. All right, so it's part of the harvest season, and it's the end of the harvest season when we gathered in all of our crops, because the weather's about to be rough now. The fall and the winter's coming in, so you was thanking the Most High because you have food stored up for the the rough season until you can plant your crops back during the Passover. You can go back to plant your crops in the spring during the Passover. Okay? So it's also known as the Feast of Ingathering. So when we eat our food, or you have your food in your home, even though you may not have a garden, or you may not be engaging in growing food now, you're still thanking the Most High for what? The food that's gathered in your home. You're able to go to the supermarket and pay for your food and gather it into your home. Okay? It's still been grown somewhere. Well, some of it been grown somewhere. Some of it might have been made in a damn lab. You gotta pray over it, but you still thanking the Most High for what? I was able to go out and buy $200-300 worth of groceries for me and my family. That's my gathering in of my food. That's my in-gathering. Okay? It goes on spiritual levels. Right? Read on.
You shall keep the feast unto the Lord 7 days.
You shall keep the feast 7 days. Go ahead.
On the first day shall be a Sabbath.
All right, the first day is a Sabbath. You treat it like a regular Sabbath, except for working for the feast. You're allowed to do work for the feast. Cook, clean, things that even if you got to buy. We know on a regular Sabbath there's no buying or selling, but if you're buying for the feast, then the Most High has mercy. Okay? Don't be over righteous. Right? Go ahead.
And on the 8th day shall be a Sabbath.
All right, on the 8th day shall be a Sabbath. So whenever you have Feast of Tabernacles, the opening and closing are Sabbaths, and whatever that Sabbath in the middle, and one that comes in the middle, that's the Shabbat for the regular Sabbath. Right? Come on.
And ye shall take you on the first day the
branches
of godly trees.
Go ahead.
The branches of palm trees, and the burrows of thick trees, and the willows of the brook.
Why did the Most High tell us that? Because we were in the wilderness during this time. All right, and what was around us? Trees, wilderness, shrubberies. So we took those branches and what? That's how we made our tents, our huts, our booths, our tabernacles, our teepees, like the Native Americans call them. But our huts. All right, that's what we made them out of, bushes and everything. That was in the wilderness. Come on.
And ye shall rejoice before the Lord your God.
And why was we making booths for 40 years in the wilderness? By a show of hands. Anybody? Why was we making booths? There's a common sense answer. Brother Joseph.
The Exodus from Egypt.
The Exodus from Egypt, what? Bring it home a little bit more.
I stayed 40 days and 40 nights in the, when I spent, 40 years in the wilderness.
We spent 40 years in the wilderness and what? Something else. Who can help them out?
I don't know if I'm right, but when the chariot or when the cloud sat, we had to sit in certain areas and we had to pitch tent, and then we sat there for days, and as the cloud rose and moved, that was when we got up and gathered our
Perfect.
things together and moved.
God, excellent, sister. When you read Exodus, we follow what? A pillar of a cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. So we was constantly on the move. Sometimes we would settle and be somewhere for a while, but we was constantly on the move. So why build a permanent house when you're constantly moving? So the Most High said, build temporary booths or tabernacles to dwell in temporary while I'm moving y'all through the wilderness. Okay? When you read the story in Exodus, it all makes sense. So that's also why we celebrate the Feast of Tabernacles. Okay? To remind us of the 40 years of wandering in the wilderness and what? The Most High delivering us out of Egypt. Okay? Right, read on.
And ye shall keep it a feast unto the Lord 7
You
days
should keep it a feast unto the Most High 7 days. Go ahead.
in the year. It shall be a statute forever.
And those 7 days you dwelt in your booth or your tent, and on that 8th day you came out and you had a holy convocation with all the body of Israel for the closing. Go ahead.
It shall be a statute forever.
For how long?
Forever.
Right. You got a wave of Israelites saying that we not under the law now. We don't have to keep under the feast days. That's a new. Well, I shouldn't say new, but it's renewed. That's a renewed doctrine that recently came up. Most High said, no, my statutes are forever. Right. Go ahead.
And ye shall block it. And it shall be a statute forever in your generations. And ye shall celebrate in the 7th month. And ye shall dwell in booths 7 days.
Right, you shall celebrate in the 7th month, dwell in booths the 7 days. Right, go ahead.
And all that are Israelite born shall dwell in booths.
And this was only for us. Right, Esau can't come in your tent. Moab can't come in your tent. Right, you shouldn't want them in there anyway. All right, this was only for Israelites. The stranger, if another nation was amongst us as a servant, they acknowledged the feast day, but they couldn't come in the booth. That was only for Israel. Okay? Right, go ahead.
That your generations may know.
That your generations may know all throughout history, all throughout the forthcoming generations. Right, go ahead.
That I made the children of Israel to dwell in booths.
So now the Most High said, listen, that your future generations may know. Because listen, they may not have been in Egypt. So I want them to know also that I brought you out of Egypt. Okay? So we celebrate many things. We acknowledge this feast day. Right? Come on.
When I brought them out of the land of Egypt.
When he brought us out of the land of Egypt. Come on.
I am the Lord, your God.
He's the Lord, our power. Yahweh Ba'ashim Mashiach Yahushua. God? So self-explanatory, man. The Most High want us to acknowledge. And when you read Exodus and throughout the law, you'll get more understanding and get more enriched on what the Feast of Tabernacles is dealing with. Okay? All right, give me Numbers 29 and 12. Numbers chapter 29 and 12. We're just going to get a few. We're not going to be too long. And draw it out. All right. Numbers 29 and 12. All right, read that. Salakia, Brother Joseph.
So in the Bible, when it talks about the strangers that serve join among you, that's talking about when it says that none of them can dwell in your booth or your tent.
Right.
That's talking about those strangers.
That's talking about actual Gentiles.
So the strangers that sojourn among you, those aren't Israelite Gentiles.
Some of them. It depends on the scripture or the verse.
Okay.
Sometimes it could be an Israelite foreigner, because let's say a brother from another city come in here that most of y'all may not know. He's a stranger to you, but he's an Israelite.
Right.
So he can still dwell and keep the Most High's feast day. But then you have the natural stranger, which is the other nation.
Right.
They didn't have the same benefit as a strange Israelite, because that's still an Israelite. You understand? Okay? So a natural stranger, no, they couldn't dwell in the booth. But, you know, if a brother came along, somebody could vouch for him. Not some crazy nigga that's going to come in and like, yo, who this dude? You know what I'm saying? But somebody could vouch for him. But he'll be strange to most of us because maybe most of everybody don't know him, but he's still a fellow Israelite. Let's say if a brother I know called me from D.C. and he said, yo, I'm in Cali. Can I come keep the Feast of Tabernacles with y'all? I know the brother, I can vouch for him. When I'm on the East Coast, I break bread. When y'all may not know the brother, though. He's a stranger to y'all. But I say, nah, this brother could come to the feast. He good money. You know what I'm saying, Kyle? And it also goes into the inheritance. All right, an Israelite that didn't have an inheritance, and they were considered a stranger, but they would have an inheritance amongst Israel because what? You wouldn't just treat them like a heathen. That's still an Israelite. Okay? So it was different forms of things that happened with an Israelite that made them a stranger, but then you had the natural stranger, which was Esau and the other nation. They didn't have that benefit of serving the Most High amongst Israel like an Israelite stranger. That's still a brother or sister by blood. Okay? All right, go ahead.
The book of Numbers, chapter 29, verse 12. And on the 15th day of the 7th month, ye shall make a holy convocation.
Right, so that's what we did. We made a holy convocation. Many of our brothers and sisters throughout the earth, they made a holy convocation on the 15th day, 7th month. Right, come on.
Ye shall do no servile work, and ye shall keep the feast unto the Lord 7 days.
Right, so servile work, once again, work for a hire. Okay? All right, so every year, why do Most High make us go over the feast every year also? So we can remember them. Okay? Israel forget, man. All right.
Remember the days of old.
Israel want to talk about Trump and the coronavirus. I had a sister call me today. Hey, Bud, I don't know this sister from nowhere. Hey, brother's a bot. I said, Shalom, sis. How you get my number? Oh, your number's on Facebook. Oh, god damn. You know what I'm saying? All right, fine. Hey, Shalom says, hey, when we gonna talk about Trump and the corona? I said, sis, hold on, sis, hold on. I said, today is the third, going into the 4th day of the Feast of Tabernacles. We'll talk about Trump when it's time to talk about Trump, sis. Israel love drama and hype, man. Sister called me all the way, brother. We're gonna talk about it. Especially when we get in camp. But it's also a feast day, sis. We gotta focus on that too. You know what I'm saying? We know the Most High brings these judgments during the feast days because what? He's sharp. That's a reward. A lot of times when the Most High bring these judgments on a major feast day, that's a reward to us. For us acknowledging and paying him reverence and doing his feast day, he bring a major judgment for us. Right? Remember what? He destroyed the Egyptians during the Passover. Okay? So that's what it's kind of a righteous reward for us doing the right thing. The Most High brings a judgment for us. Okay? So we understand that, but Israel slow it. It is a feast day season. Let's concentrate and get in the spirit of the feast. We gonna talk about Trump to the damn kingdom, probably. Especially when we go out there to camp, you know that. And sit downs or whatever. But Israel just love, but you gotta put that focus, man, on your culture. You gotta get into the culture of being an Israelite. It's not just cursing out Esau, it's not the camp and we see it all the time and we gotta repeat it all the time. Camp video, 10,000 views. Class sit down video, we bringing out all kinds of scriptures, 1,000 views, 890 views, 794 views. Barely stretching. Video got to stretch like a month just to get to 1,000 views. And that's still good, but we 15, 20 minutes, and we just prophesying about current events. We in the camp, whatever, we bringing it out, whatever, 10,000 views. Because Esau want that drama. Who gonna come up and get rebuked? I want to see. You know what I'm saying? Right? But a lot of time, them class videos is where you learn, man. That's where you get your precepts and everything from. And brothers always talking about, well, I ain't learning this, I ain't learning that, because you're not on the classes. You skip into the camp videos, you skip into the drama videos. You're not watching the feast day videos. You know what I'm saying? Why 5 years you asking, Elder, can you give me a lesson on the Feast of Trumpets? Brother, we got videos from the last 5 years on it. Go back and watch the videos and do your own study and put you a little lesson together. You know what I'm saying? Kind? So that's what it's about, man. This thing is about learning, right? Get into the culture of being Israel. Not so much the drama and the sensationalism. Learn to get into the culture of being an Israelite. Kind? Right, go ahead.
Ye shall do no servile work, and keep a feast unto the Lord 7 days.
Go ahead.
And ye shall offer a burnt offering, a sacrifice made by fire, of sweet savor unto the Lord.
Go ahead.
13 young bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the first year.
Right, so there was a specific amount of sacrifices that we were supposed to burn on each day of the Feast of Tabernacles, along with the regular evening and morning sacrifice. Go ahead.
They shall be without blemish.
They shall be without blemish. No cuts, no bruises. All your animals that you sacrifice to the Most High, they had to be at least a year old, and they couldn't have no cuts, blemishes, or nothing wrong with them. Go ahead.
And their meat offering shall be of flour mingled with oil.
Go ahead.
3/10 deal unto every bullock.
Go ahead.
Of 13 bullocks, 2/10 deal to each ram of the 2 rams, and several tenths deal to each lamb of the 14th lamb, and 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, besides the continual burnt offering, his meat offering, and his drink offering. And on the 2nd day ye shall offer 12 young bullocks, 2 rams, 14 lambs of the first year without spot, and their meat offering and their drink offering for the bullocks, for the ram, and for the lamb shall be according to the number after the manner. And 1 kid of the goat for a sin offering, besides the continual burnt offering, and the meat offering thereof, and the drink offerings. And on the 3rd day 11 bullocks, 2 rams, 14 lambs of the first year without blemish.
Jump down to 23.
And on the 4th day 10 bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the first year without blemish.
So each day it went down. All right, it went down 12, 11, 10. But this is every day of the Feast of Tabernacles for 8 days. These are the specific offerings that's the Most High wanted. I picture us burning 10 bullocks out here now, man. Damn, Winter Parker have a damn fit, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's what the Airbnb got.
Think they was bothering me earlier. They would have a goddamn heart attack, man. You know what I'm saying? So you can't burn on them sacrifices. Them animals are expensive. You go to a slaughterhouse, you know, cows and whole goats and sheep are $200, $300, $400 each. You know what I'm saying? So that's a lot of money in today's term. But we had that back then because we had land, we had all that back then. And we're going to get that back as a nation. All right, some of it here, but definitely in the kingdom. And like I was bringing out in the opening, man, you got these brothers making stupid comments about brothers buying land or whatever. Listen, we come from all that, man. So if the Most High bless it, if the Most High give a brother a certain amount of money in his kingdom, just bless him for whatever reason. And the brother buy land, get cattle, crop, whatever. There's nothing wrong with that. We come from that as a nation. As long as the brother got the mind frame that this is not going to last, the Most High could destroy this at any time, and we going into the kingdom. Because, I mean, what would you want more? Your H.O.I to come back or your damn land? I mean, let's be honest, you know what I'm saying? Who's going to buy land and they spirit be more into their land than your H.O.I coming back? You know what I'm saying? You might feel a tiny sadness. Damn, I ain't really get to enjoy my land, but the hell with Babylon. I'm going to have my land in Jerusalem. So if you bought land yesterday and didn't get a chance to grow a damn tomato on it and your H.O.I come tomorrow, are you going to be like Lot's wife? You going to turn back and want to go back to your land? Or you going to say, the hell with that? Your H.O.I is here with the chariots. So don't be simple, Israel. Good? But it's just a means to an end. Anything we do in this kingdom is a means to an end. If you start something today, your H.O.I come next year, the Lord let you enjoy it for a year. But I'm not going to trade whatever I got for the second coming of your H.O.I. Oh, see, you bought land, brothers getting comfortable. They don't want your H.O.I. Sounds stupid, man.
That's them.
You know what I'm saying?
Bring it out.
Suge Knight Negroes, man. Inside joke.
That's right.
Right, stop trying to be a damn bully, a video bully in Israel.
Yeah.
Everything somebody do, you got to be a video bully and make a video about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that brothers can't clap back, but you a clown. Brothers ignore you for the most part. And brothers can clap back and make you look simple because the scriptures, cut all that. But the Most High told us, use this world but don't abuse it. Because you can, in other words, you can have and do the things of this world, but don't put your spirit into it. Don't get overwhelmed. Like I said, there's no way in hell if the Most High blessed me with a damn Jaguar tomorrow, I'm going to say, no, Yahweh, don't come back next week. Let me drive this Jag for the next 10 years. No, Yahweh, I want to enjoy this Jag. But if he give it to me, I'll drive it to the damn wheels fall off. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be going to camp in style. Matter of fact, I'm hiring me a chauffeur. I don't want to drive.
In a stretch limo.
What I'm saying? Come on, man. I mean, I ain't going to say, wait, Yahweh, don't come back. Give me 2-3 years to enjoy this Jag. Nah. I'm going to say, Lord, listen, you got a better chariot for me in the kingdom. The hell with this Jag. I'm going to be riding around in a damn gold chariot made out of gold. Right? The chariot like Isaiah got on around. Yeah. Got on his neck. To the chariots fly. Right? Hey, we don't say H.O.I to the chariots fly for nothing. We talking about the chariots around the kingdom too. Not only the chariots coming to get us out of here, we're going to be flying around in the kingdom on chariots.
That's right.
H.O.I to the chariots fly, to the kingdom and beyond. Okay? So let's put everything in perspective. Anything we do in this kingdom, if you say I want to enhance my business, I want to try to make more money for myself, my family, for the work, I want to help the work out more. I want to do better for my family, whatever. The Most High give you a business idea, you start making a little bit more money. You're not gonna say, well, Lord, let me make this extra money with this business idea don't send Yahweh back for the next 10 years. I'm gonna make this money with this new business idea. This thing going good, Lord, don't come back yet. Hell no. when the streets of the kingdom is gonna be paved with gold. So you worried about your little internet business you got that's doing good? No. But if we got to be here for the next 4 or 5 years, that's a blessing the Most High gave you to survive. And when you get a blessing, you're supposed to reciprocate. You're supposed to put it right back into yourself, your family, and your nation.
That's right.
Sign Yahweh Shai. Don't be a nigger like we brought out in the opening. All right? Don't be a damn miser. All right? But that's all it is, man. Don't get simple, man. Anything, man. I got to reiterate that because it's like, you can't do nothing. If you don't want nothing in this kingdom, then you got a bum mentality. You ain't got no motivation. Look at you. But if you want something, you're selling out, you're getting comfortable. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. You be like, all right, I don't really want nothing. I just want to do the work of the Lord. I don't care about nothing in this kingdom. See, you got a bum mentality, and that's a defeated spirit, and ain't nothing wrong with having nothing. All right, Well, all right, come on. Let's go and try to get something. Let's try to build something. I see you getting comfortable with Esau kingdom. You damned if you do, damned if you don't. Right, so we going.
24. There shall be a meat offering there, drink offering.
So like you read 23 again?
And on the 4th day, 10 bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the first year without blemish.
Right, so tonight actually started the 4th day of the Feast of Tabernacles. Because, Wednesday was the Wednesday sundown, first day. Thursday sundown, second day. Friday sundown, third day. Tonight, so-called Saturday sundown, starts the 4th day. So if we was in our kingdom, we would be burning this on the 4th day as a meat offering to the Most High. Okay? Go to St. John 7 and 2. St. John 7 and 2 now. Let's get a few more, y'all. St. John 7 and 2. So, how many days to the Feast of Tabernacles total? By show of hands.
8.
8. So, if tonight is the 4th night, what are we in? We starts with an M.
The middle?
We're in the middle of the feast, okay? What did y'all think that them word was? All right. Go to St. John 7 and 2.
St. John, chapter 7, verse 2.
Go ahead.
Now the Jews' feast of tabernacles was at hand.
It said the Jews' feast of tabernacles was at hand. Go ahead.
His brethren therefore said unto him, Depart hence and go into...
Start at 1. Salaki.
Okay, start at 1. St. John chapter 7 verse 1. And these things Yahushua walked in Galilee, for he would not talk in Jewry, because the Jews sought to kill him.
Right, so certain places at this time in Yahushua's ministry, he was staying away from because they were seeking to kill him. All right, Jewry just meant where the Jews dwelt. So certain cities and places with Israelites and Jews, Yahushua was staying away from because the jealousy and envy was building against him and they wanted to kill him. All right, go ahead.
Now the Jews' feast of tabernacles was at hand.
Now the Jews' feast of tabernacles meaning what? It was time for the Israelites to keep the feast of tabernacles. Go ahead.
His brethren therefore said unto him, Depart hence and go into Judea, that thy disciples also may see the works that thou doest.
All right, jump to verse 14. Y'all can read verses 3 to 13 on your own. Read that. Read verse 14. But I want to bring out something here.
Now about the midst of the feast.
So it said about the midst of the feast. So what would have been the midst of the feast? We just said it. Or the middle. Right? And what day that would have been? Fourth day or the fifth day. Fourth or fifth day. All right. So it said around the middle of the feast. Go ahead.
Yahushua went up into the temple.
He said he went up into the temple. Why? To partake of the feast. Okay? So why are people saying the law is done away with? Why are people saying we're not under the law no more? Christ came to tell us we don't have to do the law. He was acknowledging the Feast of Tabernacles himself. Okay? All right, read on.
Now Yahushua, now about the midst of the feast.
Now about the midst of the feast, come on.
Yahushua went up into the temple.
He went into the temple, come on.
And taught.
And did what?
And taught.
And taught. And you know where he got that from? The law. Because during the Feast of Tabernacles, we read the law. When you read Ezra and Nehemiah, we read the law during the Feast of Tabernacles. So what? Yahushua went into the temple and started teaching. Right? The law and probably prophecy and giving them mysteries or whatever. But he said, look, it's the Feast of Tabernacles. Everybody's in the temple. I'm going to go up in the temple and start teaching. Okay? He didn't say, oh, it's the Feast of Tabernacles. I don't celebrate this thing. I don't acknowledge this thing. I'm just going in here to teach. No. He knew it was the feast and he went up there and taught the people. Like the law says. Go ahead.
And the Jews marveled, saying, How knoweth this man letters?
It said the Jews marveled, how knoweth this man letters? The word letters means learning. They said, how knoweth this man learning? Go ahead.
Having never learned.
Having never learned, meaning what? He wasn't taught by... Israel used to have something called the school of the prophets. He didn't go through any... like when you read about Paul was taught by a brother by the name of Gamaliel. And Paul said, I sat at Gamaliel's feet, meaning Paul was taught, because they had schools of the prophets back then. All right? And you had the scribes, the Pharisees. You would actually go to places to learn from them. So they said, how this man no learning? We don't know him to go to none of the school of the prophets, or he wasn't taught by none of the Pharisees or the Essenes or none of the groups back then. Who's this guy? But Yahushua was so wise, they was trying to figure out who taught him. Okay? All right? But the Spirit taught him. That was the special thing about Yahushua. But this is in the middle or around the fourth, let's say fourth or fifth day of the feast. Go ahead.
Yahushua answered them and said, My doctrine is not mine, but his that sent me.
He said, listen, my doctrine was taught to me by the Holy Spirit, by the Most High Power of Israel. That's where my doctrine come from. Who are you? How you know all this knowledge and you didn't learn? You didn't go through other schools of thoughts like us. Just like now. They'll say, well, what college you went to? What school? What degree you got? Brothers be out there teaching, breaking it down in the spirit. The pastor come up, what you, let me see your credentials. What your doctorate of divinity? You know what I'm saying? What Bible college did you go to? See that? Why? Because they say, well, how do you know the Bible like that? Confounding them, because they don't know. They got that Christian understanding, but not the true understanding of Yahushua. All right, Shia.
That's also a cut for the Trinity doctrine.
The Trinity doctrine.
But it's him that sent me.
Right.
So Who sent you? I mean, you can't send yourself, right?
Cut. And that's a cut
Exactly.
against when they say the Most High and Christ is the
The
same.
same.
They said, my doctrine is not mine, but he that sent me. Yahweh didn't send himself.
God.
He was sent from the Father. That was one of the silliest doctrines ever that I ever came across, man. You know, God and Jesus Christ and God is the same. No, they're two separate entities. All right? But that's another Christian, Jehovah Witness. They run with that, you know. But that's a good point. That's a cut on that. My doctrine is not mine, but him that sent me. Right, come on.
If any man do his will, he shall know of the doctrine.
He said, if any man do his will, he shall know of the doctrine. If you doing the will of the Father, you keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, you're going to know the doctrine. Right, go ahead.
Whether it be of Yahweh, or whether I speak of myself.
He has said, see that? Whether you're going to know if I'm sent by the Most High or I came from my own. Check that out. Yahweh Shai is saying that. Any man know the doctrine, you're going to know it came from the Most High, and I don't speak of myself. So this is all during the middle of the Feast of Tabernacles. Okay? So let you know, in the New Testament, during the time of Yahweh Shai walking on the earth, he was acknowledging the Feast of Tabernacles also. Right there in the middle of it. All right, so everybody write down St. John 7:14 with Numbers 29 and 23. That fourth day, or that midst of tabernacles. Or you can even go to the 28th verse 2 of Numbers. Numbers 29 and 23 or 25. All right, it was around the middle, 4th to 5th day of the Feast of Tabernacles. All right, if you have an 8-day feast, the middle would be, that 4th or 5th day. Okay? All right, so Yahweh Shai was acknowledging the feast on the 4th day, in the middle of the feast. Okay? So this is all spiritual. I say, we can come together Saturday night, a little bit better cohesive with everybody's schedule, and it'll be the 4th day of the tabernacle. Okay? All right, so go back to, go from there to Deuteronomy 16:16. We almost home, Israel. Don't get too bored. All right. Deuteronomy 16 and 16. Would everybody have it say kind? Deuteronomy 16, 16. Salakia. You let Kadaya know. I never got a chance to tell her it's on the phone about the story. The water says. Tell her just take something out that she got to make home. All right, Deuteronomy 16, 16. Everybody have it say kind? All right, read that.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 16.
By a show of hands, what verse in Deuteronomy 16 also talks about the Feast of Tabernacles? Who was listening to last week's service? And don't look now and cheat. Gotcha. Who was paying attention? No, I know Jamming though, because he was reading. Don't yell out.
What's the question?
I said, what verse also speaks about the Feast of Tabernacles in Deuteronomy the 16th chapter? Don't look down. Everybody look up. I know Jamming knows because he was reading for me last week. He was reading for me during the service. Anybody by a show of hands? It starts at the 13th verse. Kind? Starts at the 13th verse and you go all the way down through 17. Kind? All right, so, but I'm going to just get right to the point for the sake of time tonight. We're going light tonight because we know we opened up, we covered a lot, and the closing we're going to cover more. All right, but I'm just giving y'all some more concerning the feast tonight. Kind? All right, Deuteronomy 16, 16.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 16, verse 16.
Yeah, that AC was on. It was helping us not sound so loud. Right? Huh?
You turn it back on, or?
It's automatic?
No, I turned it off.
No, turn it on.
Alright.
Yeah. It's going to be hot as hell in the house if you don't turn it on. Everybody's going to want to go in there and cool off in a minute. All right, Deuteronomy 16, 16. Everybody have it? Shh, Shemai, we almost home. You know, the natives are restless. We almost home. All right, go ahead, brother.
3 times in a year shall all thy males appear before the Lord thy God.
The Lord said 3 times in a year all the males shall appear before the Lord our power. Go ahead.
In the place which he shall choose.
What's those 3 times? What's the 3 mandatory feast days according to the scriptures? By a show of hands. 3 mandatory feast days according to the scriptures. Angela.
The
Passover.
the Feast of Dedication.
No, that's Hanukkah. Feast of Dedication is Hanukkah. That's not one of the 3. And who else? Catalina?
Feast of Tabernacles
Yes.
and Feast of First Fruits.
Karen. One more. Feast of Tabernacles, Feast of First Fruits, and what's the 3rd one? She said it for you, yes.
Yeah.
But you said
I don't debate Hanukkah, right?
no.
No.
Is it the
Feast of
Pentecost?
Dedication.
No. Pentecost is First Fruits. You got it. You got it. Just say all 3 of them.
With me?
No, Sister
Feast of
Catalina, you got.
Dedication.
Huh? No, that's Hanukkah.
Oh,
You got Tabernacles. You got
the Passover and the Feast.
you got First Fruits. What's the other one?
Passover.
Passover. Okay. That's the 3 main feasts. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
All right. Kind. Right. Read it again, brother. Deuteronomy 16:16. Read.
3 times in a year shall all thy males appear before the Lord thy God.
Right. And the Most High said the males because why? The males, for the most part, you don't have no excuse. Remember, the women get unclean. They bear children. They unclean for 40 days for a male, 80 days for a female. So a lot of times the woman probably couldn't make her. She's unclean more than the man. All right. Go ahead.
In the place which he shall choose.
In the place which he shall choose. And, you know, don't take it wrong from the Most High, but the men are the leaders. They're the front line. So the Most High wanted them to show forth that power and respect for his feast days, first and foremost. Right, go ahead.
In the feast of unleavened bread.
The feast of unleavened bread, which is what? The Passover. All right, come on.
And in the feast of weeks.
What is the feast of weeks by show of hands? Don't yell out. What's the other name for the feast of weeks? Go ahead, sis.
Feast of Fruits?
Feast of First Fruits.
First Fruits.
Kind Feast of First Fruits. Not just any feast. First Fruits.
First
Right?
Fruits.
All right. Go ahead.
And in the feast of
And
tabernacles.
the Feast of Tabernacles. So that's the 3 main feasts that all men were supposed to appear. Next year, as the calendar come out, y'all brothers have to be there. God, make provisions, especially if you get the calendar early. Make provisions. Make your plans. We're not going to be shifting the feast days around. If it falls on a weekday, you're going to have to try to make it. Okay? Bring it out.
So that
And
feast
they
of,
shall
Hold on. Yeah, go ahead.
Salaki. The feast of unleavened bread is the Passover.
Is the Passover, yeah. It's the same thing. Feast of unleavened bread is the Passover.
So like it, not to be simple, but if there's a funeral right before one of these feast days, you shouldn't go.
Not if it's not nearest of kin. Really, you shouldn't go to no funerals, period, unless it's nearest of kin. You know, if there's a somebody distant, you'll pay your respects from. I mean, that's really up to you, but really, you know, even like the priests, they didn't go to no funerals for nobody. You know, especially if he wasn't nearest of kin. And in some cases, the priest couldn't even be unclean, period. You know what I'm saying? So I would say only go to funerals that's nearest of kin. If it's somebody distant, man, and then nowadays, you know, they got COVID and funerals are restricted, and you know, me and my family, we went to a repast a couple of weeks ago. It was the day after trumpets, but we didn't go to the funeral. We went to the repast because the funeral was for close family and friends. It was one of my children's daycare providers passed away, so we went and paid our respects at the repast, but we wasn't around the body, so we wasn't unclean. So if it's not a near relative, I would be like, man, remember them how they was. Maybe send a card or something to the family and keep it pushing, man. You know what I'm saying? If it's not, you know, if it's mom's, sibling, that's different. You know, a brother, sister in the truth, you know, that's different. Like one year, we had an elder pass in the truth. But it was like a couple of days before the pass. His funeral would have been a couple of days before the Passover. So we had to do the Passover. Like a lot of the brothers that wanted to pay their respect, we was like, damn, you know, brothers had paid for rental places already, had garments made, sent out invites. People had got their plane tickets and stuff. So a lot of brothers felt bad because the elder was very respected, but a lot of Israel couldn't go because we would have been unclean for the Passover. Okay? So the Most High feast day come first, you know, in certain situations. Okay? Unless it's like nearest of kin, you know, so your family don't trip on you. And, you know, if a sibling or a parent died, then, yo, you know, I'm unclean. When my brother passed, we had his funeral, and then we had his funeral on a Monday, and then the new moon was that Saturday night, so I couldn't go to the new moon. You know, so I went, you know, that's my brother, you know what I'm saying? So I couldn't go to the, I just did the new moon at the house, you know, I just said some prayers and whatever. But I wouldn't have been clean to that Monday at even, so I had to miss the new moon that Saturday night. But for somebody distant, nah, no disrespect, but shalom, I remember you, I remember you. I sent a family a card or something, some flowers, but I'm going to the Most High feast day. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, you're just going to go and, you know, everybody, you know, everybody's different, man. I hear people going to friends' funerals, and I don't know, you know, everybody is different, but, you know, nearest of kin. Well, what the hell?
You answered my question while you were talking. You'll be unclean for about 7 days.
7 days, yeah. When you
touch a dead body
in the same room or you touch the dead body, you're unclean for 7 days. Okay, that's in the unclean laws of the dead body.
If somebody distant, they respect from a distance.
Say it again.
Somebody distant, they respect from a distance. In other words, I don't even be around there.
Nah. I know, and I know a brother that his grandfather died, and he went to the funeral home, but he told his family he's not going to come in because it was a major feast day coming up, and the brother had to hold down the feast day. So he went, paid his respects. He didn't go inside the funeral home, and he went with the family afterwards to the repast. You know, because he said, if I step in that room, I'm unclean for 7 days. So it's a judgment call. Sometimes it's tough, but it's like, you know, you got to make them tough decisions sometimes, especially when you're a leader. You know, I know some years people died, and I'm like, man, if I go to the funeral, you know, who's going to hold the feast down? They might have been kind of close to the family or somebody I knew, but I'm like, oh, man. You know, if I go, you know, it was a period where I was literally doing everything in H.O.I, New York. If it wasn't, like, all the brothers was new, nobody really could hold it down. So I had to do everything. So I'm like, nah, I can't. Well, you know, such and such, that you know how close he was to the family? Yeah, but, you know what I'm saying? It ain't a relative. And then some of my family going, yo, y'all got a rep for me, man. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Okay? All right, so read on.
And in the Feast of Tabernacles, they shall not appear before the Lord empty.
The Lord said, don't appear before him empty. You know, everybody got to try to bring something, an offering, food, a donation. You know, all this stuff costs money, man. From the garments, the tent, the Airbnb, this is all money, man. Thousands of dollars. And then there's stuff you don't think about, stuff you know, last minute. You're like, damn, what did I just spend $40 on what? You know what I'm saying? So that all, you know, and nobody's rich, man. That's why we ask for donations. Brother said, well, I gave you money. Yeah, you enjoyed the feast, Negro. What are you talking about? You gave me money. Like, you didn't come and eat and drink and have a place to have it at that may cost thousands of dollars or whatever, $500, $600, $700. Where do you think that money come from? We got to come together and do it. You know, and I'll be nice if the Most High bless me. Hey, I got it this month, y'all. I'm paying for everything. Elder got y'all. Just bring what y'all can bring. We don't have it like that, though. You got families, you got bills, but collectively we come together and make it happen. Okay? All praises, right? Go ahead.
And every man shall give as he is able.
The Lord said, give as you able, because he's a fair power. The Most High didn't even put no actual amount on it. He said, do what you can. Some can give more, some can give less. You know what the Most High gave you, what he didn't give you. Right? Go ahead.
According to the blessing of the Lord.
According to the blessing of the Lord. Give as you are able. Okay? That's a fair and righteous power that we serve. The Most High could have said, look, $1,000 every feast day. No, the Most High didn't do that. Okay? He said, give as you're able, according to the blessing. Come on.
Which he has given thee.
Which he have given you, because the Most High said, I'm the one that gave it to you anyway. All right, read on.
Judges.
That's it on that. Go to Deuteronomy 8 and 17 now. Real quick to link that up. The Most High said, I'm the one that gave it to you. So I know what you got, what you don't have. So that's all. Just give. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, the feast day can be nice. Okay? And in the future, you know, we got to start giving on a regular basis so eventually we can have our own place, man. You know, we know it's rough, man. Los Angeles, New York, these cities are expensive, man. You know, we can't even, New York, don't even think about nothing if you're not coming with $1 million. Straight up. Especially ownership. And then if you renting or paying a mortgage, you better come with $5,000, $10,000 a month. That's how New York is looking right now. You know what I'm saying? They laughing at you. You don't even come with 50 or 100,000. They laughing at you. And I know brothers and sisters in real estate. It's an act. They laughing at you. They renovating the brownstones in Harlem. They starting at $3 to $5 million. $3 to $5 million. When years ago you get a brownstone for $60,000. So that's how it is, man. So it, you know, it costs. A lot of times it's not that easy in these cities, man. And Esau just tighten up, because he don't want us to have nothing. That's what it is, man. He gentrified these cities. He raised the rent sky high. You know what I'm saying? And $5,000-$10,000 a month mortgage. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Apartment, $3,000. Well, yo, let's rent an apartment and use that for a school. $3,000. And see, when you have a place, if your place costs $3,000, you got to be bringing in like $5,000 a month. Because you got other overhead. You got lights. You got bills. You got feast days that come up. You can't just be barely making that rent every month because you're going to go under. So you got to think about all that too. You know what I'm saying? You come, yo, I got 20,000. What you going to do with that? You know what I'm saying? So this stuff costs in these lives. Unless you get a hookup or a deal, most of the time that's off the books, and when somebody get mad, they're going to pull the rug from under you. You got no lease, you got no agreement, you got nothing in writing. You just got, give me $500 a month. You know what I'm saying? They got to say, hey, he ain't never give me nothing.
Handshake deals.
And that almost happened to us in New York. We was about to put in on a building and kind of find out the lady wasn't paying the mortgage. She was pocketing the money, the building got foreclosed on. So we would have gave her these stacks and she would have been out. Because you ain't got no lease, no agreement. And they not giving you no lease or nothing. Your credit got to be up. You got to have a certain amount of money in the bank. You got to have this. It's not easy, man. Yeah, man. Even if, unless you know somebody, and most of the time when you know somebody, it's going to be under the table. It's not going to be nothing in writing. So it's rough, man. You got to really be like a millionaire with and showing legit money to even get a spot now. And, you know, unless the Most High just open another way.
Yeah, those are called handshake deals where you don't have no agreement. That's how, if you ever guys watch that movie,
that handshake spirit.
That guy that took the McDonald's franchise for the McDonald brothers in Riverside. That's called The Founder. He took the McDonald's franchise from the guys that opened it in Riverside with a handshake deal because he had the ice cream machine and he took the whole franchise from him.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. That handshake deal.
Handshake deal, yep.
And Esau will get you with that. Esau will get you with that. So be careful, be mindful. Go ahead.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 17. And thou shalt say in thy heart, my power and the might of my hand has gotten me with wealth.
It said you will say in your heart or your mind, my power or the might of my hands have gotten me this wealth. Go ahead.
But thou shalt remember the Lord thy God, for it is he that giveth thee power to get wealth.
It said, remember the Lord your God, because it is he that gives you power to get wealth. So Deuteronomy 16 and 17 links with Deuteronomy 8, 17 and 18. Because the Most High said, give according to how you're blessed, because it's him that gives you the power to get the wealth. Okay? All right, so go from there to Ezra, the 3rd chapter. Ezra chapter 3 and verse 1. A few more, we're going to wind it down. All right, Ezra chapter 3 and verse 1. Yeah. when we came out of Babylonian captivity, and the Persians and the Medes let us go back into our land, we reestablished the keeping of the feast days to the Most High. Even though we didn't have a temple, we had makeshift altars, but we reestablished the feast days to the Most High. So I'm just showing you throughout history that, you know, we still kept the feast days, all right, even coming out of captivity. Read that, Ezra 3:1.
Ezra chapter 3, verse 1. And when the 7th month was come, and the children of Israel were in cities, the people gathered themselves together as one man to Jerusalem.
Go ahead.
Then stood up Jeshua, son of Josadak, and his brethren, the priests, and Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, and his brethren, and builded the altar of the God of Israel to offer burnt offerings thereon, as it is written in the law of Moses.
Yeah, so they went when they came back into their land, they reestablished everything according to the law. Jump down to 4.
They kept also the Feast of Tabernacles, as it is written, and offered daily burnt offerings by the numbers according to the customs, as the duty of every day required.
See that? So we read that in Numbers 29. So they went back to the law and they offered the offerings as they would do each day according to the law of Moses, like it tells you in Numbers chapter 29. All right, so even coming out of Babylon, where we lost a lot of our culture due to all the idolatry that was in Babylon, as soon as we got back and we got some sense of reestablishment, we went right back to serving the Most High. Okay? And we reestablished the Feast of Trumpets, which is on the 7th month, the Feast of Tabernacles, the Day of Atonement, all the feasts that come on that 7th month. Okay? All right, so go from there to the Apocrypha. Go to, let me see what I want. Maccabees. We're going to show you. We're going throughout all different time periods. We're going to show you they kept the Feast of Tabernacles during the time of the Maccabees. Go to 1 Maccabees 10, I believe it is, and 21, if I'm not mistaken. 1 Maccabees 10:21. 1 Maccabees chapter 10 and verse 21. Read that.
So in the 7th month of the 160th year, at the Feast of Tabernacles.
See that? At the Feast of Tabernacles. Go ahead.
Jonathan put on a holy robe.
Now Jonathan was who? He was the Levite from the Maccabean family that was in succession after Judas to take over the rulership of the Hasmonean dynasty and the Maccabean revolt when they fought against the Greeks to rebuild the temple. That's where we get Hanukkah from. But throughout their time, they were keeping the other feast days also. They didn't just establish Hanukkah and only do that. They did all the feasts. Go ahead.
And gathered together forces and provided much armor.
He said, gathered together forces and much armor. Now look, they was at war. They was at war and they was still doing the feast. He said, listen, we're going to keep the feast of the Most High, but we're going to make sure the army is in order because they was fighting amongst the Greeks. All right, this was after Alexander and Antiochus and all these different Edomite leaders during the Greek Inquisition. They was trying to come up against the Israel, but you know we was fighting back and forth. You know, y'all read the story of the Maccabees. Now is a good time to start reading the story of the Maccabees, so you know the story when Hanukkah comes up. Okay? So these next 2 months, like October, November, for the rest of these 2 months, just like a couple of chapters, maybe on the Sabbath or something, you know, throughout the week, read a few chapters of the Maccabees so you get caught up with the story, and then maybe by December you could finish both first and second Maccabees, and then you know the story when the Hanukkah comes up. Okay? But showing you all throughout Israel's history, what did we do? We went back to keeping the commandments, back to keeping the feast days of the Most High. Okay? All right, go to second Maccabees now, 10 and 1. Second Maccabees 10 and 1 now. So all throughout the history, no excuse. All right, no excuse. All throughout the history, we kept these laws. All right, 2 Maccabees 10 and 1. Yeah, read that.
2 Maccabees chapter 10, verse 1. Now Maccabeus and his company, the Lord guiding them, recovered the temple and the city. But the altars which the heathen had built in the open street, and also the chapels that they pulled down, and having cleansed the temple.
Right, so this was during the time of the Maccabees when they cleansed the temple. All right, this is when Hanukkah is established and set up. Go ahead.
And having cleansed the temple, they made another altar, and striking stones, they took fire out of them, and offered a sacrifice after 2 years, and set forth incense and lights and shewbread. When that was done, they fell flat down and brought the Lord that day, that they might come no more into such troubles. But if they sinned any more against him, that he himself would chasten them with mercy, and that they might not be delivered unto the blasphemous and barbarous nations.
In other words, they said, Lord, we'd rather you punish us, with nature or something, than we fall into the hand of Esau. All right, go ahead.
Now upon that same day that the strangers profaned the temple, on that very same day it was cleansed again, even the 25th day of that same month, which is
Caslu.
Go
ahead.
And they kept 8 days with gladness, as in the feast of the Tabernacles, remembering that not long afore that they had held the feast of Tabernacles, when as they wandered in the mountains and in the dens like beasts.
Right, so here the Maccabees, they was wandering in the mountains and the dens, and they still kept the Feast of Tabernacles. Right, fleeing and fighting against the Greeks. So they said, you know what, as we do this 8 days of Hanukkah, we're going to remember the 8 days of the Feast of Tabernacles. Okay? So all throughout history. So that stuff about it being, why would the Most High start the feast day off, then have Israel go through the feast days throughout history, then Yahushua come and do away with it, then we're going to do it again in the kingdom? That don't make any sense. All right? It was all throughout our generations. All right? That's why our forefathers they said, listen, we fighting. We in the wilderness, like we in the dens, like animals down there. We out here in nature, but we still gonna make a way to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. And as we keep Hanukkah, we gonna remember when we kept the Feast of Tabernacles. Okay? So go to Hosea 12 and 9 now. Just showing you Hosea 12 and 9. Write these scriptures down, take notes. All right, and go back over them. Otherwise, you ain't gonna know nothing. All right. All right. Hosea 12, I believe it's 9.
The book of Hosea, chapter 12, verse 9. And I that am the Lord thy God, and from the land of Egypt will yet make thee to dwell in tabernacles.
Read it again.
And I that am the Lord thy God, from the land of Egypt will yet make thee to dwell in tabernacles, as in the days of the solemn feast.
So the Most High, in the book of Hosea, the Most High was rebuking the northern kingdom. Ephraim in the northern kingdom was going way the hell off, and the Most High was rebuking them. But he said, as you fell as a nation, when I restore you and bring you back into the kingdom, you're going to keep the Feast of Tabernacles as you did before. Okay? So the Most High said, look, even in the kingdom, he's going to bring us back to keeping our feast day. Because you read the book of Hosea, the Most High was rebuking the northern kingdom for going the hell off. All right? It was going all into idolatry. And you see that with our people today, the northern kingdom. Brothers want to say they not Israelites. You know what I'm saying? All Negro doctrine. You know, a lot of times the Northern Kingdom, they fit the prophecies, the idolatry, you know what I'm saying, the different things they do in these different church, the Catholic Church and all that. That's the Ephraim from back when they got seduced by Jezebel and all that. Same thing. All right, but, you know, brothers go way off into their doctrines and don't know, you know, the history, and a lot of information going to come out real soon. Not to challenge or battle brothers, it's not about that, but just to restate the claim to the 12 tribes of Israel. So brothers don't think, oh, you know, get caught up in the only Negro doctrine, and like it's no information to prove that the Northern Kingdom are Israelites. All right, so you know, that brothers just keeping it quiet, but a lot of information gonna come out soon. Most I will. All right, but the Spirit shows it, and you know, you see it through the Spirit. A lot of times, brothers don't really pay attention to this stuff because it's like brothers already know what they understand. You know what I'm saying? Come on, you know. But you know, there's these different discrepancies in Israel, and sometimes you just gotta engage them so you know people don't get confused or whatever. For the sake of the flock, not for the sake of the back and forth, the pride and the ego, and I know more than you, and your doctrine is weak, and because brothers get into that more so than to edify the people. All right, Yeshaya.
Salakia. You think when brothers start saying they doing away with the 12 tribes chart, do you think they get ready to go into Negro only doctrine? Or
yeah, that's what it is. Most of the time, if you get rid of the chart, you're going into Negro only doctrine, and most of the time, Negro only doctrine goes into merging Ham with Israel. Because a lot of them cats that believe in that Negro only, I see them kind of embracing Ham more and more, and then they get mad at us when we you know we get on Ham. And the y'all know H.O.I, we go at Ham. I don't like no goddamn Hamites. I can't stand me no goddamn Hamites. I caught a lot of flack over the years because I'm hardcore on Ham. So a lot of times the Negro only, or we say the blackity black Israelites, they start to merge in Ham. It starts to lean over. Don't forget our people in Africa, but you got to make the distinguishing. It's Israelites that were scattered in Africa, then there's actual Hamite Africans. So I noticed brothers start getting into that spirit, and they start like kind of merging Ham and Jake together. Now you got this, and brothers start even kind of looking like Ham, and you know, next you know they got Dr. Muntutu on their show, and he's a scholar of African Hebrewism, and cats start to lean into that Hamite doctrine.
I know exactly.
Yeah, look, that's how it starts. It denounced the chart. Then it goes into Negro only. Then it goes into blackity black. They start even getting into skin color, and then it goes into Ham. And then now you know it start kind of merging Ham and Ham sandwich, man. Ham better get the hell out of here. Y'all know, man, I can't stand no damn Ham. I go hard on them. You damn right. You come up in the camp, your ass is a Hamite until you prove otherwise.
Brother.
But be like, your man just said he's from Nigeria. You damn right. He got to prove different that he's Israel. You know what I'm saying? I'm hard on them Hamites, man, because I see how they are. Growing up in New York, man, you see how Ham was towards Judah, man. You know what I'm saying? You see they can't stand us. They hate us. They marry our women so they can stay in the country. You know what I'm saying? And then Eve, a lot of times Eve fall in love with them and really want to be with these African men. And they be like, nah. They be like, I just use you to stay in the country. I'm going back to my African woman. Yeah, they'll have babies with Eve and everything. And they know there's a difference between a black American, you know, like Tariq said, everybody hate Judah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But them Africans hate our guts, man. They hate our guts as much as they try to be like us. They hate our guts. Well, everybody hate black Americans, but you know, it is what it is. Everybody hate Judah, but them Hamites, them Africans hate our guts, man. They'll use us. They'll try to be like us. Like I said, they'll marry our women to stay in the country. You know what I'm saying, to get a damn green card, visa, whatever it is. But, you know, yeah, citizenship, but they don't like us, man. And I've seen many times, and I said, sir, you think the African really going to be with you? He married you after 6-7 years when the government think y'all real and he can stay in the country. He going to drop you and go back to his African wife. Yeah, man. I seen a lot of that was a hustle at one time in New York. That was a hustle, maybe everywhere, but in New York, that was a big time hustle. I'm gonna marry, especially the 80s, 90s. Yo, he gonna pay me $10,000 so he can stay in the country. Yeah, then he got a wife back home in Africa with children, marry Eve for a while, get straight, get on his feet. His cousin him Tutu, give him a damn store on 125th Street or 116th somewhere in Harlem, and he on his feet now. He kicked Eve to the curb. Yeah, man. And then Eve be falling all in love like this damn African man gonna love them, and he go back to his African woman. Telling you, man, growing up in New York, I can tell you, man, them Africans hate our guts, and the feeling is mutual. I ain't never liked them. I never liked them from when I was young. Straight up, I used to be like, we the same as them. Like, nah, because you know, a lot of times when they came over, they would rent out the rooms. Like in New York, they rent like Benjamin in the 80s and 90s. A lot of Benjamin took over a lot of the houses in Brooklyn. And what Benjamin, they would rent rooms to other Benjamites that just come to the country, or Ham sometimes. And Ham would live in them rooms, and they stink, man. And you know, you rent a room next to Ham, they stink. And, you know, said my cousin coming soon. He gonna stay with me soon. And we're gonna open a store in 5 years. Sure enough, yeah. Then a lot of times Benjamin and Ham would team up against Judah. It was crazy in New York, man. You know, stay away from them Yankee boy, Black American lazy, and Ham. Yeah, no good. Black American stupid. You know, I'm from Africa. They come on boat. I come on plane. Yeah, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna marry the Black American woman, and then I'm gonna get my citizenship, and then I go back to my African wife. Akata, yeah. Yeah, I seen all that, man. I see how them Africans was, man. And I used to be like, yo, they stink like hell. They can't be our people, man. We use deodorant and all that. You know, Jake like, yo, nigga, you know you're a dude. Nigga, go put some on your underarms is kicking, son. But Ham was naturally like that. I was like, yo, those are not our people. They're not the same.
Not the same.
And everybody must say, oh, that's so harsh. That's racist. Do you know the stuff they say about us?
Oh, yeah.
See, it's all good. Everybody can say anything about Judah and all the other tribes, but you can't say nothing about them. Do you know the jokes and stuff they have on us?
Exactly.
Get out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? But they'll smile in your face and say, you racist and you this. Anytime you reciprocate that, you wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, every time we try to be friendly with everybody and accept everybody, they stab us in the back.
Exactly.
You know, so we got to stay strong as a people and love our own.
Exactly.
And give them a taste of their own medicine. Show them how they be hating us. We be hating you too. And then everybody's so butthurt when Israel do it back to them. Because it have more of an effect when we do it. All right, bring it out.
Yeah, a lot of people watch these movies like The Africans is For Us, like that movie when Monique, when she fell in love with that African guy, it's called Fat Girls. You remember Fat Girls?
Yeah.
I was like, you know, you people.
Why do you call yourself B? Why do you Black American women call yourself B? You know, I remember that. Yeah. They don't care about you, man.
Exactly.
Like they got that sister, man, that owns that business. She's a multi-millionaire. And she owns some business. She married to an African. That money's going back into his nation. Because that's what a lot of these men of the other nations do. They'll marry into our money. And the women. They'll marry into our money. And then when something happens to us or go left, they get that money. You know what I'm saying? Or they use us. So everybody can mainly Judah. And I'm not going to say that because that's my tribe, but it is what it is. Everybody is the African Americans first. Everybody run over Judah. Then it goes down to the rest of the tribe. Because we all under that curse. And then we act like we so different from each other. We not under the same curse. Now they hate you too. You know, so we oppress, like it tell you in Jeremiah, we oppress together as a nation. That's why we got to return so the Most High can start defending us.
They should not desire.
They should not desire it. And everybody hate a Negro. Negroes hate Negroes, you know what I'm saying? What NWA say, niggas love to die. Niggas been dying for 400 years. Right?
And Esau has done such a number on our people that, and not our people, but all nations, that he'll on the job, he promotes Ham he knows the difference between Ham and
they know the
Judah.
difference. They know
So
the difference.
he'll put Ham over everybody because Ham hate everybody, or he'll put Elam or Ishmael over everybody, and just use them to just downtrack. You know what I'm saying? Judah or anybody else. And then they'll put Ham as the star role in these movies and have Ham acting like Judah.
Ham is the new Judah. Yep.
Ham is the new Judah. You know, me and Brother Nala talk about that all the time. That's what the movie Us was about. Us was about the Ham becoming Judah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the government does that to what? They do that to just slow down any kind of progress amongst Jake. You know what I'm saying? Because they know, regardless of what, we have tribal wars in Israel or whatever, but they know the significance of the tribe of Judah. So it's like anything, man. Why does an African have to play me in the movie? You just get a regular Judite out. You know what I'm saying? You know, but they don't want that. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you're in a starring role, remember the brother that just passed, Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people suspect he might have been put to death for playing all them powerful roles. You know, Jackie Robinson, James Brown. You know, Black Panther, the first black superhero. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to get into a back and forth with our brothers. Everything in a conspiracy. Aki just died. You know, but you never know. They slipped him something, cancer. He's gone. You know, they don't want no type of positive image for Jake, man. You know, so therefore, in these key roles, how you gonna have an African playing Martin Luther King? Are you serious?
Oh yeah, that's from Selma, right?
Selma.
Yeah, Selma.
How you have an African playing Martin Luther King, man? They don't have the spirit and the essence. How you gonna have an African playing Harriet Tubman? That's what that Harriet Tubman movie flopped. A lot of people said it was good, but it didn't have the spirit. It didn't have the spirit that it would have had if you had like a Angela Bassett. You know what I'm saying? Or hell, even Whoopi Goldberg would have brought that. She would have brought that essence back. Remember Whoopi in Color Purple? You know what I'm saying? She would have brought that slave Negro woman essence back. You know, anybody, but you're gonna have this African woman play a significant so-called African American Judite woman.
Was she an African? I thought she was a Caribbean.
Huh?
I thought she was a Caribbean. She was an African? Who? The one that played Harriet Tubman.
Yeah, according to Tariq and everybody, that's why they went against the movie.
So okay, I thought she was a Caribbean.
They said she was a Hamite. Remember, Tariq was going at her hard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was like, don't go support that movie. She's an African.
They love Hamites.
They love that's really all they do now.
Yeah.
They put these Hamites in top Judite roles.
Yeah, you know she played Aretha Franklin coming up in the movie. I saw that.
You know what I'm saying?
She's gonna be Aretha Franklin. She can really sing, but I thought she was a Caribbean. I didn't know she was an African.
Yeah, that's how much of a threat every little thing is to Esau's kingdom, man. You know, he's just a sore loser. You know, everything. Damn, you an African American can't even play an African American in a movie? What the hell? You know what I'm saying? But nah, replace Ham as the new Judah. You know what I'm saying? Ham is the new Judah. So there you go. Where we at?
Hosea 12 and 9, bro.
Okay, yeah, Hosea 12 and 9. So the Most High said He's going to bring us back in the kingdom. He's going to bring us back to keeping our feast days. Go to 2 Peter 1. And let me see what else. So, everybody put this down real quick. Our body is our tabernacle. Your body is also your tabernacle. 2 Peter, I believe it is. Let me see what I want. Bear with me. Second Peter's 1. Start at 12. 2 Peter's 1 and 12. We're going to read verses 12 through 14. No. 12 through 15, and put down your body is also your tabernacle. All right.
2 Peter chapter 1, verse 12. Wherefore, I will not be negligent to put you always in remembrance of these things.
So Peter said, I will not be negligent to put you always in remembrance of these things. Go ahead.
Though you know them.
Though you know them. So, you know, a lot of times we got to, you know, reiterate to Israel. You know, encourage Israel. Oh, I needed to hear that, Doc. I needed to hear that. Good. You might have heard it before, might know it already, but you need to hear it. All right, for encouragement. Go ahead.
And be established in the present truth.
And be established in the present truth. That's how you stay established. Because you need to keep hearing the laws, keep hearing encouragement, keep hearing prophecy, keep hearing about endurance, keep hearing about being diligent. Shammai. Go ahead.
Yea, I think it meet as long as I am in this tabernacle.
Right, so Peter said, I think it's good. The word meet means good or right. He said, I think it's right or good as long as I'm in this tabernacle. So what was Peter saying?
As long as he was in his body?
As long as he's in his body, he's alive. Right, go ahead.
To stir you up by putting you in remembrance.
He said to stir you up by putting you in remembrance.
Hey, quiet.
He said, listen, as long as I'm in this tabernacle, my job is to put you in remembrance. To edify you. Okay? All right, go ahead.
Knowing that shortly I must put off this, my tabernacle.
He says, shortly I must put off this, my tabernacle. See, a lot of the apostles knew they was going to die. They knew their time was coming. They knew the work that they was doing, it was a danger during the Roman Empire. And a lot of the Christians were put to death. A lot of the apostles were put to death. Like Paul and Peter, they both got martyred under Nero Caesar. Nero was a Roman Caesar. He's a pedophile, homosexual. All right, he was he was into cannibalism and they used to feast, to cut off birds' heads and feast on them. Yeah, read up Nero Caesar, disgusting Roman Edomite, man. Right, when he burnt down half of Rome and blamed it on the Christians. He said, you can look up the saying, as Nero fiddled. All right, as Rome burned, Nero fiddled. He burnt down half of Rome and then he fiddled and celebrated to himself because he knew he was going to blame it on the Christians. And the Roman army went out and killed like 3,000 Christians and said that they burnt down half of Rome. And then after Rome burnt down and he had the Christians murdered, he went and married himself to 2 men. He had a wedding ceremony where he married himself to 2 men. Yeah, read about the history of Nero Caesar, man. Sick Edomite, and all of Caesars are wrong. There was some sick people, and it's the same thing today. Biden, Trump, all these things, they're the same thing behind closed doors. Remember what Trump said, just grab her in the, we ain't gonna say it, but you know, so like your sisters. They're the same way. You know what I'm saying? Pedophiles, child molesters, everything. So Nero, he was into little boys, married himself to 2 men, burnt down half of Rome and blamed it on the Jew, had 3,000 of the Christians killed. Yeah. And he killed Peter and Paul. Apostle Peter and Paul suffered a martyrdom under him. Peter was crucified upside down and Paul was beheaded. All right, Peter, right here where Peter is saying, I must put off my tabernacle, because in St. John, the 23rd chapter, Yahweh told him he was going to die. Everybody write that down, St. John 23. Read the whole chapter. It's starting around the 19th verse. Let me see real quick. You might as well just do it.
John 23.
St. John 23. Let me see what I want.
So when he fiddled, he was playing a violin?
Huh?
He played a violin as all that happened?
The fiddle.
Yeah, that's crazy. Dang.
As Rome burned, Nero fiddled.
Yeah.
No, St. John 21. My bad. There's no 21.
Yeah.
St. John 21. Start at 15. I'm gonna show you what Peter was talking about here. St. John 21 and 15.
So when they had denied Yahushua, saying to Simon Peter, Simon.
No, when they dined.
When they dined.
All right, this was after the Last Supper. All right, go ahead.
So when they have dined, Yahushua said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than thee? And he saith to him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I have loved thee. He saith unto him, Feed my lambs.
So Yahushua said, before Yahushua's death, he told Peter, feed my lambs. Go ahead.
He saith to him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? He saith unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, Feed my sheep.
So Yahushua said, look, if you love me, feed my sheep, feed my lambs. Because Yahushua was about to be crucified also. Go ahead.
He saith unto him a third time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Peter was grieved because he said unto him the third time, lovest thou me? And he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things, thou knowest that I love thee. Yahushua saith unto him, Feed my sheep.
Come on.
Verily, verily, I say unto thee, when thou wast young, thou girdest thyself and walkest whither thou wouldest, but when thou shalt be old, thou shalt stretch forth thy hands, and another shall gird thee and carry thee whither thou wouldest not.
Right, he said when you get old, another is going to stretch forth his hand and carry thou whither thou not. Meaning what? They was going to carry him to his death. That's what it's talking about. That's why I said carry you whether you would not. Because what? They would take him to his death. They would capture Peter and they would take him to be crucified. That's why Peter said, that's why Peter was crucified upside down. Because when you read the history of Peter, he said, I don't deserve to die like my Lord. All right, because Yahushua told him there's going to come a time where you're going to die. Right, that's heavy. You know what I'm saying? Because Yahushua told him they're going to put you to death for this gospel. But he said, listen, when I die, because the Lord told me I was going to die, I don't want to die the same way he died. So he said, turn me upside down and crucify me. So I die different from the way the Lord, because his death is exclusive. Even though men were crucified back then, but Peter said, crucify me. When you read about Peter's death, he was crucified upside down. All right, and Paul was beheaded, and they both, Nero Caesar had both of them killed. All right, so that was a hell of a Caesar. That Nero was something else. When y'all get time, when you read about the 12 Caesars of Rome, you read about Nero, he was an evil bastard. But Yahushua told Peter right here that you're going to be put to death for this gospel. He told him you was going to die for this truth. All right, read 19.
This spake he, signifying by what death he should glorify God. And when he had spoken this, he said unto him, Follow me.
He said, see that? So Peter, no matter what though, that's heavy, man, for Yahushua to tell you, they're going to kill you for this word, but still follow me. You're like, damn, if I keep preaching the gospel, they're going to kill me. But Yahushua said, follow me. He said, listen, he told him about what death he was signifying. But he said, listen, still follow me. Because like they going to carry me and crucify me, they're going to carry you and crucify you. That's what he was telling Peter, right? That's heavy, right? Right, go to 2 Peter's, now go to 2 Peter's 1 and 13 again. Now you read it with better understanding. Because Peter's telling you that Yahushua told him that he's going to be put to death. He's going to put off his tabernacle. He's going to leave his body, because when you die, the body leaves the spirit. I mean, the spirit leaves the body. Or the spirit leaves your tabernacle, your earthly tabernacle. Okay? All right, so that's what Peter was saying when you read 2 Peter. So our body is also our tabernacle, according to what Peter is saying here. 2 Peter 1 and 13 again.
2 Peter chapter 1 verse 13. Yea, I think it's meet, as long as I am in the tabernacle, stir you up by putting you in remembrance.
Come on.
Knowing that shortly I must put off this my tabernacle, even as our Lord Yahushua has
See,
shewed
he
me.
said, Yahushua showed me I was going to be put to death. All right, I was going to die. Go ahead.
Moreover, I will endeavor that ye may be able, after my decease, to have these things always in remembrance.
So he said, look, even after I died, you still have these things in remembrance. So Peter was like, look, everything I'm teaching you now, it don't stop just because I died. He said, after my decease, as the Lord showed me, I was going to put off this tabernacle shortly. You still keep the commandments, keep the faith, and remember everything I taught you about preserving the gospel. Alright? All praises to Yahweh by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua. So that's another way to look at it. Your body is your tabernacle. Okay? Alright, so that's it. I think that's a few more y'all can study. Study this video. Go back over this lesson with the lesson from Wednesday, so you can get a group of scriptures concerning the tabernacle. Okay? And then we'll go into some more different ones on opposing on Wednesday. Like I said, even if most don't make it, watch the live or the video when Rob posted up, and go back, and we'll give you some other scriptures on the tabernacles that we didn't go over in these two lessons. Okay? So there's many ways. The feast days are not just in Leviticus 23. They all over the Bible. Spiritually and physically. The feast days have spiritual and physical significance. We dwelt in the booths. We dwelt in the tabernacles. The Most High Yahushua is our spiritual tabernacle. All right, they dwell in us. All right, we dwell in them. Okay? So it's on many different levels. All right, all praise to Yahweh by Hashem Mashiach. All right, so that concludes this quick lesson on the Feast of Tabernacles 4th night. If y'all learned something tonight, we've done our job. Okay? Short and sweet and to the point. Remember, take notes. Go back over the notes. Go back over the notes. When I ask questions next year, most I will. Or hell, most I forbid. Either way you would look at it. Hopefully this kingdom is gone. But if we hear some of you same brothers and sisters in this room, if you're in the tabernacles, I ask you questions, you'll be able to answer. Okay? All praises.
All praises.
All right, so Ashar Kag Sakawaf, again, happy Feast of Tabernacles. And we're going to blow the trumpet very low and close out in prayer, get into the eating, drinking, and the festivities. Not yet, y'all. I'll tell you when it's going. All right, and remember, discretion. Down. All right, we all right so far. The Most High been ain't no racist Buena Park skinhead police come, so we all right. Esau might curse me out in the morning, but it's all good. All right, so hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
All right, all praise to Yahweh, Yahushua once again. Hallelujah. Imagine what Panya Yeroshim stand and face Jerusalem on the east, this way. Blow that horn too long. What are the neighbors doing now?
Okay.
What is that noise? I think we was pretty quiet.
Yeah.
I've seen 10 times worse. All right, hallelujah, we're going to do the closing prayer. All right. Repeat the Hebrew only. Drink offering. Blessed are you, Yahweh, that gives us the fruit of the vine. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Ahawa'ah.
Alaha.
Tananawa.
Taganawa.
Apoya.
Agapan.
Agapim.
Hashem. Mashiach. Yahushua.
Duwada.
Alam.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
La Yahweh.
La Hawa.
La Yahushua.
La Shah.
La Yasha'ala.
La Shala. La
Ka. Sakawaf.
Sakawaf.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Dam Yahushua.
Dam
Blood
Yahushua.
of Yahushua.
Blood of Yahushua.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Repeat the Hebrew only. Blessed are you, Yahweh, that gives us the law. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Hawa.
Bahawa'ah.
Adaha.
Talanawa.
Anawa.
Atawara.
Adawa.
Blessed are you, Yahweh, that gives us the light to see. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Hawa.
Bahawa'ah.
Adaha.
Talanawa.
Anawa.
Ha'awar.
Awa.
Lara'ah.
La'a.
Blessed are you, Yahweh, that gives us the ram's horn to call the people. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Hawa.
Bahawa'ah.
Adaha.
Talanawa.
Adanawa.
Akwaran.
Akadwan.
Washawapah.
Akashalapah.
Ha'ain.
Ayam.
Salakia. Wakwara.
Wakal.
Ha'ain.
Ayam.
Bahashim.
Bahashim.
Hamashiach.
Mashiach.
Yahawashah.
Yahawashah. Tuwada. Ya. Alam. Amen. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Blessed the Most High Yahweh Bahashim Mashiach Yahushai. Thank you for another great feast day, Feast of Tabernacles lesson and service, Most High. Bahashim Mashiach Yahushai. Tuwada Amen. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Hawa.
Bahawa'ah. Adanawa. Hashabaf.
Hashabaf.
Bashalawam.
Shalom. Wa. Ka. Sakawaf. Bahashim. Mashiach. Yahawashah. Tuwada. Ya. Alam. Amen. Hallelujah.
Blessing of the four corners of Israel. Yahweh.
Yahweh. Hashem. Mashiach. Yahushua. Rakanawa. Akshala. Aisha come. Shama. Yashala. Yahweh. Ayahayam. Yahweh. Aha. 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 Yahweh. Hashem. Yashak. Yahushua. Rakanawa. Shalom. That's a good plan.
Blessed the Most High Yahweh Bahashim Mashiach Yahushua. Please bless Israel, throughout the four corners of the earth, Most High. Please watch over us, bless us, uplift us on the camps, schools, congregations. That is sincere in Yahushua. Bahashim Mashiach Yahushua. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hear, O Israel, Yahweh, our power, Yahweh is one, 306 verse 4. Hear, O Israel. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Come here, Shalom.
All right, sisters, come up to be anointed. Brothers, have a seat. No, you stay there. Go back to the oil, make a line. When y'all come up, make a line. Across. So I can anoint everything. Lean up, lean up, lean up. Lean your head up, baby. Keep your head up straight. So that's your head. So we're going to do the anointed prayer, sisters. Y'all know the routine. Pray over y'all. Number 622 to 27. As we pray over y'all meditate stuff y'all going through, health, wealth, whatever. Be a better wife, better sister, better mother, better overall woman for the Most High. As we praying over y'all, now we got time to meditate on anything y'all going through, you know, in your life that y'all want the Most High to do. We're gonna, when we finish the prayer, we go from right to left. Everybody say their name 3 times and we repeat. All right? This anointed prayer, Numbers chapter 6, verse 22 to 27. This is the prayer that the Most High gave to Moses and the priests to say over the children of Israel. Hallelujah. Only me and Aledo is going to say it, and then once we finish the prayer, we point to y'all, say your name 3 times, one at a time. All right? Repeat after me and then 3 times. All right? Hallelujah. No, just us. Yabaraki Yahweh, Wayashamaka, Ya'a Yahweh, Banyawa, Ayaka, Wayakhanika, Yasha'a Yahweh, Banyawa, Ayaka, Wayashamaka, Shalom, Yahweh, Bashim, Hamashiach, Yahushai, Babakashah, Shema, Nawa, Aita, Shalak, Maikala, Malachayim, La, Shemahayo, Barak, Rapal, Aizal, Magun, Kazak, Hatazayel, Wawa, Karima, Angela, you say it. Shanice, Catalina, Sage, Zamora, Zakara, Zara, Catharia, Ada, Cole, Akil, Aquafil, Bunyam, Yasha'ala, Bahashim, Hamashiach, Yahushai, Wada, Yad, Alam, Akim, brother, come up.
I got 3 daughters.
Get your anointing oil. Form a line. Say your name 2 to 3 times. Yeah. That's what I can. Yeah. Sisters, Shemai, please. All right, same thing, Akim, anointed prayer, number 6, 22 to 27. As we praying over y'all, ask the Most High to make y'all better brothers, better fathers, better all-around men of the Lord, be stronger in the spirit. Anything you might be going through, you want to get better at scriptures, you want to just be a better overall man of the Lord, it's a time to meditate on it now. Anything you're struggling with, anything you're going through, family members, anything. Now is the time to meditate on and keep yourself better than the Most High. Done? Hallelujah. All right. Only Issachar, repeat after me. Yeah, meditate on this prayer. All right. when we start from Rob Judah, go all the way down the line to Jamming, and then me and Issachar. Hallelujah. Yabaraki Yahweh. No, just me. Yabaraki Yahweh. White Shamaka. Ya'al Yahweh. Banyawa. Al-Yakar. Wayakanikar. Yasha'al Yahweh. Banyawa. Al-Yakar. Wayashamaka. Shalom. Yahweh. Rashid. Mashiach. Yahushua. Obikashah. Shemai. Yahweh. Aita. Shalak. Nagala. Lalahim. La. Shema'el. Barak. Rukar. Aizar. Mudan. Kazak. Ataziyah. Fawa. Rob Judah. Yeshaya. Isaac. Yashua. Zakari. Rashad. Joseph. Jamin. Alodio. Zabak. Ko. Akim. Ko. Wakim. Ko. Bunyam. Yasha'ala. Ba'ashim. Hamashiach. Yahushua. Tawada. Yad. Avalon. All the brothers and sisters on the live feed, all of Israel throughout the four corners of the earth, by Shimon Hallelujah. English translation, number 6, 22, 27. Anointing prayer, English translation. Hallelujah. Almost home, number 6, 22, 27.
Book of Numbers. 6, verse 22. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and to his son, saying, On this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, The Lord bless thee and keep thee. And the Lord make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. The Lord lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them.
Hallelujah. Ba'ashim. Hamashiach. Yahushua. Tawada. Yad. Avalon. Hallelujah. Everybody stand again, face the east, we pray for the food and drink. Hallelujah. Ba'ashim. Mashiach. Bless us in this day. Drink, strong drink, anything, everything you want to consume. Tabernacles outside, bless it, heal, continue to bless it, provide us with all of my days on this earth, and you continue to ship Hallelujah. 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 Sisters, brothers turn to the sisters. Nice. Not too loud to me. Akim Yasha'Allah. Brothers of Israel. Amajid. Barak. Yahweh. Hashem. Mashiach. Yahushua. Shema. Atan. Sisters, right hand over your chest. Yahweh. Hashem. Mashiach. Yahushua. Shema. Atan. Most out in the name of Christ, like over each other. Hallelujah. Brothers turn. Salute each other. Akim Yasha'Allah. Majid. Barak. Yahweh. Hashem. Right hand. Right here. Right here. Yahweh. Hashem. Mashiach. Yahushua. Barakatam. Hallelujah. 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 H.O.I. To the chariot fly. H.O.I. to the chariot fly. H.O.I. to the chariot fly. By Hashem. Mashiach. Yahushua. Hallelujah. 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 Shalom. Everybody repeat again. Ashar, Kag, Sakawak. Happy Feast of Tabernacles. Eat, drink, be merry. Oh, Salakia. Remember, eat, drink, be merry, keep the noise down. Before everybody get too busy, I want to get like 1 or 2 group pictures. So I don't miss nobody because some of y'all are ease out of here. So before y'all start eating, everybody round up. Rob Judah can take it. Round up right now, everybody. So y'all sneak out of here without a group photo. So now take your jacket off.
Yes.
No, you good. Everybody, don't be shy.